going up against this Czech team.
And on the other side today, they will face Daniel Padishak, who we've actually already seen in this tournament. Now he gets the nod in the starting role today.
Yeah, and we talked about this, how crucial and how important it is, how strategic you have to be to get your top flight arms through not only this game. If you survive, and we talked about that, there's more baseball to be played. If you're in that losing bracket, you have to have answers for tomorrow. And Padishak, we saw him a couple nights ago against France. He looked good, 2 innings, gave up the home run, a walk, but he was really consistent with everything that this man right here was trying to get him through.
Pavel Hadim, the manager of that Czech Republic squad. Coming into this tournament, we talked so much about the holistic approach to building the Czech national program. And on day number 1 against Spain, they went into the bottom of the 5th inning down 19 runs. But they bounced back. They got the win to stay alive, come here today. Germany on the other side, somewhat similar. The fact that Steve Janssen and his team took a big loss on day number 1, and now they're still alive as well.
Yeah, and both these teams, they know each other so well. We talked about it. Look, they play each other a ton here in Europe. They're the top teams here in Europe. But the big difference is, you mentioned it, the Czech Republic team, building from within, all born and raised in the Czech Republic, couple former professional players. That guy right there behind the dish, Cervenka, and the German team all of a sudden bringing in some guys from the U.S., have that German heritage. So a little bit of a different look for this Czech team.
Where else would you rather be than in the middle of Bavaria watching baseball on a Tuesday afternoon? It is Tuesday, right? I don't even remember what day it is. It's the first pitch is there at 1:03 in the afternoon for a strike, and we are underway here in game number 7 of the 9 that we will play in Regensburg for this 2022 WBC qualifier. Right out of the gate, Demetrius Moorer gets things started with a base hit as he just continues to crush in this tournament.
Yeah, he is tearing it up right now. He hit that big opposite field home run. The top of that lineup, he's dynamic. He's got speed. We saw the power yesterday. And Germany, like I said, they're a big force up at the top of this lineup for sure.
You know, when we talked yesterday, especially about Aaron Altair, it felt like, and he's waiting in the on-deck circle right now, if he gets going, this lineup is so scary because Moorer has done a good job getting on base. He did have the 2 homers yesterday. But once you start getting those big bats going, especially Altair, but Aldrich behind him, Jermaine out of the 5 spot, Lucas Dunn a little bit further down the lineup, Germany 1 through 9 is kind of sneaky powerful at each spot.
They are, and there's a plate discipline element there as well. We see a lot of this in the big leagues now, guys who it's a big deal. Obviously, you want the power numbers. You also want the on-base numbers. And one thing that the German team do really well, this man included Bruce Maxwell at the plate, 3 years with the Oakland Athletics. The A's are renowned for working counts. They have an element of patience as well.
Maxwell is kind of the one guy to this point who, for this Germany team, is still sort of trying to get himself sorted out at the plate. He's got some knocks in this World Baseball Classic qualifier, but you know, if you could find him in a spot where he's also driving the ball for extra bases. As of right now, he's 2 for 7. Both hits are singles, and he's got himself a couple of strikeouts as well. But yeah, you get him going.
Yeah.
You got Altair going behind him. Scary lineup.
Yeah, it really is. And then, I mean, even Jermaine, you know, down the bottom half of this lineup as well. And again, they're in front of their home crowd. They were kind of hoping, too, to get that night game tonight. That was one thing we heard about with them, trying to get the night game, get the big crowd in here. It is a Tuesday. It's a work day here in Germany, but a chance for them to go on to tomorrow night and qualify for this WBC.
Moorer off, the throw by Cervenka in time to get him at second, and the caught stealing races the leadoff single.
Man, we've talked a lot about Martin Cervenka. 10 years of professional baseball in the U.S. Just finished up this year. Man, quick release on the money. And Moorer, he's not slow. He's got wheels, got a good jump. Man, that's a good throw.
Gotta love the Czech supporters group still hanging out this week above that first base dugout. They have been so loud, so vocal, and really have been, as the 3-2 is down low for ball 4, so Maxwell will take first, really have been, I think, something that has kept this Czech team in the right frame of mind of what is at stake for them here.
Yeah, the other thing with these fans as well, let's not forget, I mean, they were down, what, 21-3 or
21-2.
21-2.
Yeah.
And they're still out there, you know, banging the drum.
Yeah, after that tournament opening loss to Spain. We talked with Wojtek Menchik and Matej Menchik, his brother, and they were down 19 runs going into the bottom of the fifth. And the way the run rules work here in the WBC qualifier, a 17-plus run lead after 5 wraps the game up early. And they said they turned around, they saw those fans atop the dugout and said, we're not going out like this today.
Right.
They scored 5 to keep that game going. They ended up taking the loss anyway, but it still shows you what that group means to this Czech team, as with a one-out base runner aboard, Aaron Altair sees the count go to 2-0. Good amount of Germany fans in the house tonight, or today as well, as you might expect, or might not expect in the middle of a Tuesday workday. But a good crowd for this 103 first pitch, as it turned out to be. Daniel Patyshak in his second appearance of the qualifier serves that one up, and it's fouled back.
Already 11 pitches, only 1 out. Patyshak threw a couple days ago, but to the favor of the Czech Republic team that had that day off, and it just helps so much. And we'll dive into some of the pitching limitations and rules as we get going, because it plays a huge role in how you play this game.
A close one on the foul ball toward the booth next door to us. We talked on day 1 about a foul ball at the right angle would definitely come into this booth. Then we saw one go into the booth next door, and I thought, I don't want any of that smoke. And
listen, Tyler, please do not expect me, because I got some
you're the
playing
former
experience.
big leaguer, man.
No.
You got to be making those plays.
The athleticism has just slowly deteriorated, if any.
To be fair, it's not on your glove side.
There you go. That's my excuse.
You're on the right side in our booth. All right.
I'm not going to say
use that. 3 balls and 2 strikes now on Altair. Body shot set. And a swing and a fly ball in the air to right center. No trouble out there for Arnaud Dumovy, who had to wait a while for that to come down, but he's there to record the out. 2 gone now, and Maxwell retreats to first.
We have the wind factor. The sun's out today. Last couple of days we had that right center field gap. Ball was just flying out of this ballpark. I'm sure we're going to see some fireworks here a little bit later on, but not the same wind tunnel we've seen the last couple of days on that in that gap there at right center field.
So 2 gone, and that'll bring in the cleanup man, Daniel Aldrich, the designated hitter. We already know that this Czech squad, Pavel Hadim and his group, they've got a quartet or so of pitchers that they would like to be able to roll out on schedule today. Check swing, and Aldrich certainly went around. No balls and 2 strikes. But a lot of that is going to be dictated by how this game goes, obviously. And Patyshak already coming up on 20 pitches here in the first.
It's a good breaking ball, too. Aldrich trying to hold it back. Not doing.
No balls and 2 strikes. And way up high with that breaking ball, 1-2. Yeah, we got fans down below in short sleeves today and enjoying this sunshine. 1-2, gets away from Cervenka, but only so briefly.
You see that velocity in your top left corner of your screen. Patyshak sitting around 88 to 92 today. That last pitch 90 miles per hour down the bottom of the strike zone. It's good velocity, but you got to throw strikes. Again, keep that pitch count intact. Try and eat up as many innings as you can.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Maxwell over at first on his 1-out walk. 3-2. Here comes a full count offering from Patyshak as Aldrich waits, and ball 4, second walk of the inning, makes it first and second with 2 gone.
And sticking with Some of the secondary pitches, saw the changeup, steady dose of breaking balls. Trying to be careful with Aldrich, but this German team, especially in the middle of this lineup, they are going to be patient, and they're going to get you into some deep counts.
So 2 out to a board now for William Germain, the third baseman. Padishak ahead in the count on that first offering. Padishak out of Prague, played some college ball in the United States, and even though it's only the first inning, I mean, these are big pitches. This is an elimination game. The nerves, you would think, are at least somewhat there in inning number 1, and especially when it's some self-inflicted damage at this point with 2 walks.
Yeah, and we've seen this too from these teams. That first, second, third inning, getting your team into that good rhythm. You know, from these starting pitchers, and we've seen a mixed bag. Even, you know, Brian Flynn, the starter with the German team couple nights ago, and getting that curveball over that secondary pitch, just like this right here, Padishak. We've seen this twice in this at-bat, but that's crucial. When you have a patient team like this with some power, you have to have that secondary option get over for a strike.
1-2 in the air, well hit to center. Back on it is Dubavi, and leaping, it's gone.
And Dubavi this time getting that fastball, trying to pitch backwards, trying to sneak that pitch by him, the top of the strike zone, nothing doing. Man, this German team, when they get going, all of a sudden, some of the power numbers come to life. Look at this. This ball gets up in the air, off that batter's eye. That ball is crushed.
I did not expect that. Did not expect that when that came off the bat. I thought that was going to be a medium depth fly ball in center, and the fly out by Altair a couple of batters ago didn't really carry, and that one just kept on skying. And a 3-0 lead now in the top of the first. So that brings in Lucas Dunn with the bases cleared and 2 gone. And again, comes on a 2-strike count. Aldridge walking on a full count. So close to being able to get out of this inning. And Padishak unable to get that final strike on either. 2-0 is crushed. That's deep to left. Back goes Menchik at the warning track. And he'll haul it in. That thing stayed up in the air forever. It may have been a little bit wind-aided in coming down, and that will do it. But Germany gets 3. We'll go to the bottom of the first in Regensburg.
gentlemen. Welcome back to the bottom of the first inning. Czech Republic will get their chance. We talked a lot about this German team and the power. Hey, look, Czech Republic can take you out of the ballpark too. The guy leading off, Mensik, already has 2 home runs in this qualifier. Klopp, Cervenka in the middle of this lineup. That is a tough assignment for this young man playing affiliated baseball with the Chicago White Sox, Mr. Tommy Summer.
Tommy Summer this year, yeah, as noted, a draft selection of the White Sox out of the University of Indiana, and he put up some really good numbers with high A Winston-Salem.
He really did. I mean, you're talking a 2.7 over 100-plus innings. Lefty, fastball, changeup, a couple different breaking balls. It's going to be a tough matchup for Czech Republic.
So the leadoff man is Wojtek Mensik, the North Carolina State product, and a guy who's been really impressive to watch out of this leadoff spot. Almost said for NC State. Leadoff spot for NC State. Leadoff spot for the Czech Republic, a guy who played in the College World Series with the Wolfpack. Had some time in affiliated ball come to a close this year, and he actually was released by the Angels. Flew home to the Czech Republic at 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning, was in the lineup at 2 o'clock that afternoon in the Czech Extra League playoffs, and helped Technika Brno turn around a 1-0 series deficit on the way to an eventual league title.
Already, Tyler, you're saying, I mean, it's the first inning. We're already saying Tommy Summer treat this like it's the 7th inning. You've seen 3 changeups already, only the 1 fastball. He's pitching backwards right from the get-go. But this is one of those guys, even though he's at the top of the lineup, in Mensik, he's seeing the ball well. Don't let him beat you.
Just off the inside corner. Summer thought he had strike 3.
It's a different feel, too. Look, Tommy Summer, talk about some of the impressive numbers he had over in A-ball, but we've talked about this a lot. You have your regular routine playing professional baseball day in and day out. All of a sudden, now you're joining a national team with guys all different ages, different experience. Guys essentially from all over the world. And you're expected to keep them alive here to qualify for the World Baseball Classic.
Full count here on Wojtek Mensik. A .667 hitter through the first couple of days on the field for the Czech Republic. And the 3-2 is in tight for ball 4.
Czech Republic off to a good start. Going back to that fastball, just missing, trying to pitch inside, up and in. Get another look at it. Good at bat right there.
So here's the captain, Petr Zima. It's the right type of response. I mean, to get a leadoff base runner aboard, you give up 3 in an elimination game in the top of the first. And I would imagine in that dugout on the Czech side, you're really wanting to get at least 1 back this bottom half.
Yeah, as soon as you can. Look, there's plenty of baseball to be played, and obviously it takes the wind out of your sails. You go down 3-0 to a team that, essentially really well, besides some of the affiliated guys like the guy you're facing right now, Thomas Summer. But you want to just chip away, at least get the 1.
There's a swing and a drive. Well struck to left as Zima sends it to left center, and it's gone! Right back into it, a 2-run shot from Petr Zima. It's a 3-2 game in the bottom of the first.
Now, we were talking about crawling back into this thing, create some traffic, maybe get a couple base runners manufactured, but we talked about the power from both of these lineups. I'll tell you what, especially at the top, this Czech team, you're facing a guy, Tommy Summer, had a 2.7 in high A this year, only gave up 7 home runs all year long. Here is in the first inning, giving up a bomb to left field. That, man, your confidence has to go through the roof right now if you're that Czech team.
And again, I feel like the wind plays a little bit of a factor. When that came off the bat, it seemed like it was headed more towards straightaway left, and then it got kind of pushed out to the other side of the video board out there. So we are seeing some of the environmental factors that we saw the first few days of this tournament come back into play here, even despite the change in the weather. Foul away by Marek Kloop. Kloop, the right fielder, out of the 3 spot in the order. He, too, has been very good so far here in the qualifier. A .444 hitter. 4 hits in his first 9 trips at the plate. A home run, 3 runs batted in. Skies this one out of play.
Yeah, I kind of have my markers out there. I'm looking at the flags. I'm looking at that big tree in right center field. And last couple of days we've just been seeing gusts of wind just knocking those trees and those flags over. And today it's a little bit more still, but you're right, Tyler. We saw it at the top of the first as well, that last out of the inning, where that ball's just pushing, the wind, is pushing that ball all over the place.
So 1-2 now here on Kloop, and that's down into the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Man, that is just such a big way to start it for the Czech Republic. You give up 3 in the top half, and yeah, you'd be happy to scratch a run across in the bottom half of this inning and, try to start pulling closer, but get that big 2-run blast, 2 batters in. This is an entirely different feeling first inning now.
It's a good fastball right here, just missing. Bruce Maxwell trying to frame that thing, ejecto mitt.
3-2, swung on and missed. Maxwell will make the play to first, one gone. You notice this bee that likes us so much in this booth?
There's a changeup right there, Tommy Summer. That's his bread and butter fastball. Changeup, he goes back and forth. Fastball's around 89 to 91. The other thing to think about here too, Tyler, is, with Thomas Summer, we talked about playing affiliated baseball. He is coming out of that regular routine where he's stretched out. He is a starter in about to say Australia. He is a starter in the U.S., so he has that routine. He is stretched out. Breaking ball.
Martin Cervenka down 0-1.
But that's one thing. We saw this yesterday with the South African team. You had Kieran Lovegrove on the mound, who was starting to hit a wall, starting to fatigue about that 3rd, 4th inning. He pitched outstanding, got through the 5th. But when you have an option like this, facing elimination, someone who can stretch you out and go full 85 and feel pretty good about it, it's a good thing to have if you're that German team.
No balls and 2 strikes now on Cervenka. Martin Cervenka, a long-time professional player, as Ryan noted a little while ago, a guy who spent 10 years in the minor leagues. Started in the Cleveland system and then some time with Baltimore, some time with the New York Mets. Reached AAA in both of those organizations with Norfolk and Syracuse over the 2019 and 2021 seasons. There was no minor league season in 2020 due to the pandemic, but last year 72 games at the AAA level with the Syracuse Mets. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Martin Cervenka. And a drive in the air to left. This game is all tied in the first.
Wow, you get a 3-run lead early. Feeling pretty good about yourself. You got your guy, Tommy Summer, who dominated this year. Didn't give up a whole lot of long balls. 120 innings, only gave up 7 all year long. Here you are giving up 2. Cervenka, this is that fastball. This is a pitch that he is struggling to command. For Cervenka, just shitting dead red on an 89-mile-per-hour fastball, takes it deep to left field.
We've seen 9 men bat so far in this game, and 3 of them have left the yard. 3-run homer by William Germain in the top half of this inning for Germany. 2-run homer by Petra Zima. And, now on the other side, if you're Steve Janssen, you get a 3-run lead going to the bottom of the first, feel great about it. This is a very different feeling game at this point.
Really is. And I think, too, you can only script it up so much. The other problem you have now, they don't have, we talked about Czech Republic and their pitching. Germany had to play yesterday. So you're missing some of your main guys who are unavailable either today, or if you use them today, obviously it's elimination. Guess what? They're unavailable for tomorrow to try and qualify.
Sun splashes that home plate area again as the first pitch there for a strike to Matej Menchik.
This is where you really have to get creative. It is literally the first inning. and the wheels are spinning, how are you going to use that bullpen to get through this one? Yeah, how good are they feeling in that dugout?
I mean, even if you leave this inning tied, you got to feel like the Czech Republic has all the momentum in this game going into the second, because you give up the early runs, and like we're saying, you're hoping to just kind of chip away from there, but you erase that deficit 4 batters into the game. You're really good if you're this Czech squad today.
And you got a starter who you know essentially wanted to go 85 pitches. Absolutely no doubt in that whatsoever. He's already 23 pitches into this thing. Your bullpen is razor thin. Czech Republic know that. You're in a good spot right now, but man, you go down 3-0 and come back like that, it's a great sign.
Big swing and a miss there on 1-2, and down goes Menchik for the second out.
Again, the changeup, the curveball have been big weapons. This time the changeup from Tommy Summer. Coming out of that same tunnel, but just struggling, giving up the long ball on that fastball, 89, 90 miles per hour.
So with 2 gone, brings up Martin Mujic, and already a right-hander throwing in that Germany bullpen down the left field line. Mujic takes ball 1. Does it surprise you the reliance early on the breaking pitch and the off-speed stuff?
Yeah, because I think he's not getting, we saw this from the first hitter. The fastball, he's just not commanding it. It's either missing or it's middle. And so I think, you know, especially for an A-ball kid as well, look, another changeup again. You know, when you're an A-ball starting pitcher, even now, I know there's so much more of a usage of breaking balls. You know, it's usually 50-50 when it comes to secondary to fastballs in the major leagues. But if you're a left-handed starting pitcher, you want to keep those weapons in your back pocket, because the plan was, the way you scripted it, especially for Janssen, the manager of the German team, you script this where Tommy Summer's going to have to face this lineup 3 times. If you throw the kitchen sink early and they get a good look at that changeup, that curveball, makes it tougher to get these guys out second, third time through the lineup.
2-1 to Mujic, and a foul ball will put the count even. Man, he almost hit the Germany reliever down there in the bullpen. That's Michael Binlian, who had to jump out of the way of that ball as it hooked into the pen. Looks like they're still feeling all right in that Germany dugout, third base side. Summer ready on 2-2. Lefty kicks and deals, and a bouncing ball out towards second, where Marco Cardozo will put out Martin Mujic, and that retires the side. But 2 more home runs in the bottom of the first in this game. A lot of fireworks early, a 3-3 score headed to the second.
Let's take a look at the defense for the Czech Republic team. You got Matek Mensik, Dubovi, Klopp making up the outfield. Smola, Mensik, the brother of Matic Mensik in left field. Hatma Music at first base. And the man, Martin Cervenka, the captain of his team, behind the dish. How'd they do with those pronunciations, all right?
Pretty good. It's
Not
pretty
too
good.
bad. It's been the biggest challenge all week for us. Actually, not for you, man. You've been powering through the pronunciations.
You know, trying to, if I ever make a trip, go back to Prague someday, you know, I want to make sure.
Exactly.
I want to make sure I'm doing the things right. There's Pavel Hadim, the manager on the first base side for the Czech Republic. Second pitch swinging, Marco Cardozo flies out to right, one up, one down. No, you guys you're saving me today. I got the 6 games in 3 days scratchy voice, fighting through it.
And a quick out, too. Haven't seen a whole lot of them. Already 29 pitches deep for Padishak. Did he get a little 2-pitch out?
In a situation like this, you're a starter, you go out, you struggle in the first inning, your guys immediately back you up. What's your feeling going out for the second?
Man, put it this way. I mean, when there's situations where you're pitching during the season, you give up a 3 spot, depending on what kind of role you're on for that month. Like, for example, if you're just absolutely cruising, you're like, you know what, I'm due for a 3 spot. If you're struggling leading into that game, you're like, man, here we go again. It's a situation where I'm going to put a dent in this bullpen, et cetera, et cetera. But a situation like this, and this is the difference too. If you're watching in the U.S., this is the difference when you're talking about international play. It is straight playoff, do or die from day one. So a situation, you give up a 3 spot, you know, yeah, you're frustrated, you let your guys down, they come back. You are feeling really good about it. You just get that jolt of energy. You guys have picked you up. And you can just literally press the reset button. All the numbers, the stats, worrying about your ERA, it all goes out the window. You don't care. You just want to get as deep in this game as you possibly can.
Cody Schultz facing a 1-2 count. 3 runs on 2 hits on each side so far. And a bouncing ball over to third, where Philip Schmoller will put him out. 2 gone quickly.
But I'll tell you what, to feel like you've gained their respect back, I guess, if you need it, is doing exactly what Padishak's doing right now. 2 quick outs, staying in the strike zone, cutting through the bottom of this lineup.
And we remember what is at stake today for these 2 teams. One of these squads is moving on to face the loser of tonight's matchup between Spain and Great Britain. The other one is going home after today. And the World Baseball Classic dream will come to an end, at least for the 2023 event. 0-1 low and away, 1-1.
Still have action down in that German bullpen. Be interesting to see how he plays this. You see the righty still, it looks like he's going to be coming into this game.
Michael
Benlian, the righty.
Another affiliated guy, Tigers prospect, who played this year at Low A Lakeland. And looks like it's going to be a quick and easy 1-2-3 inning as Katowski is retired. So a bounce back frame for Body Shock. We're headed to the bottom of the second in a 3-3 game.
And welcome back to the bottom of the second. Germany, Czech Republic tied up early, 3-3. And we have a pitching change already. Michael Benlian, another affiliated guy coming into the game. Tommy Summer only lasted the 1 inning. I find this interesting. First of all, a couple things to think about here. Tommy Summer, he's stretched out. He's been a starting pitcher in the U.S., so you know he can go 85 pitches. The other part of this is, too, the German pitching staff is razor thin. They have to manage this very, very carefully. Tommy Summer threw 31 pitches in this outing. Therefore, he cannot throw tomorrow. If he had thrown 29, sure, he could bounce back and be part of the pitching staff. They are going to be extremely, extremely limited because of some of the issues they've had with the pitch count. So Benlian is coming in. But again, from the German point of view, it's do or die. I just don't, when I'm looking at this move, I'm thinking to myself, man, this is very interesting. You see that good fastball from Benlian, 93. He'll sit around 92 to 95. Throws a changeup, big breaking ball as well. Now, I'll tell you what, these Czech bats, they are not overwhelmed by velocity. One thing we talked about early in this tournament, you have such a spectrum of talent and different levels. For example, you have guys coming out of affiliated baseball, especially that Great Britain team. You've got 10-plus affiliated guys who there's plenty of velocity amongst that. Then you have a team like South Africa who just don't see 90-plus. And we could see the velocity being overwhelmed on day one from Team Spain. But this Czech Republic lineup, they can handle good pitching.
So Benlian deals that one up and in. 2 balls and a strike on Dubovy. Maros Dubovy out of the 7th spot in this lineup. He's the center fielder. Philip Smola, the third baseman, will follow. Then Jakub Heitmar, the second baseman. Count full.
That good sinking fastball. You can see the velocity plus some movement, bearing down in on the hands of Dubovy. Benlian playing in the Detroit Tigers system.
Yeah, so much of the discussion about the affiliated players, especially on that Great Britain roster, but Germany put together a pretty solid group, and we were talking with Martin Klaus, who has become our hero, our preparation guru for this Czech squad. He's the media representative. And he said for the Czech team, they played 3 games against Germany prior to the tournament. They didn't see any of the affiliated guys during that time. Leadoff walk here for Dubovy.
Yeah, the other part of this is as well, and one thing that you have to take into account, it's great to have these affiliated players and to have some of that talent. But on the other side of it, too, you do have limitations. There's things built in that we don't know about. For example, you know, Tommy Summer playing with the White Sox, he threw 30 pitches that 1 inning. There could be some limitations where the organization says, look, if he throws a stressful inning, he's done after that. And you know that Jensen wants to respect those orders from the team, because if you don't, you're not going to get the players back. And definitely, you know, even with the Great Britain team as well, a situation where you have all that talent. But, and we'll see this tonight too. There could be a situation where someone's dealing and get taken out of a game.
Right.
Things that obviously, you know, the team has to take into account when you have that many affiliated guys.
Yeah, Tommy Summer this year, 123 innings between Low A Kannapolis and High A Winston-Salem. Just 1 inning here in the qualifier before giving way to a fellow affiliated player, Michael Benlian, who first played pro ball in 2019. This year reached High A with the West Michigan Whitecaps. 15 games with them, 20, 1 step down at Low A Lakeland.
And Tommy Summer only thrown the 1 inning as well. The starter for the German team, well stretched out. Benlian pitching out of the bullpen. Most innings he threw in an outing was 3. Did that a couple times this year, but for the most part, he's an inning, a 2-inning guy. So it'll be interesting, again, see what kind of stamina he has too, if Janssen wants to push him deeper into this game.
Swing and a miss there on 0-2. And down goes Smola for round number 1.
I'll tell you what, you can talk about pitching and limitations all you want. When you have a breaking ball like that, it's a weapon that you will not turn down to have on your squad. Big breaking ball.
Michael Binlian, really guy who that breaking pitch is kind of slurvy, 10-4 movement based on a scouting report I read about him. That's one of 2 varieties of the breaking pitch that he works with. Bouncing ball over to third. 5-4-3 inning over as Smola is gone. Heitmar retired on the double play, and that'll send us to the third in Regensburg.
Now we talk about the international game a lot. We're excited to see the World Baseball Classic come back in March. It's been 5.5 years, but look at this global comparison of MLB 2022 opening day rosters. 28.2% of players born outside the United States, 21 countries and territories represented, Australia being one of them, by the way, Tyler. Tied for most in Major League Baseball history. 2018, the Houston Astros had the most born outside the U.S. What about the Tampa Bay Rays issue, having a full
all Latin
all 9
roster
all
on Roberto Clemente Day too, by the way,
right,
which is very cool.
And that was the first time in history, right?
First time in history.
Amazing. But you see the World Game, how crucial it is to some of the non-baseball countries. We talk about this a lot. We've seen the opening series in London, trying to grow the game in Europe. But that's exciting to see when you see those numbers.
I am wondering, as Demetrius Moore lays down a bunt third base side, and he's retired. Nice job by Philip Smola to jump in and fire that over to first for the out.
I'll tell you what, Smola has made some really good defensive plays and saved his team. Again, this is one of those momentum breakers right here. Obviously, Moore, we've seen the power from him, 2 home runs yesterday. This is what you're trying to generate early in the game. He can run, trying to get a bunt down. You can see how fired up Music is at first base.
And on day 1 for the Czech Republic, we did not see Philip Smola get the start at third. It was Jakub Kubica who got the start over there. And when we were talking with our Czech media relations guru, Martin Klaus, he said it was kind of a surprise that we didn't see Smola get the start. But I guess the last couple of days of training, Smola just didn't really look like himself, and they decided to go a different route to start the qualifier. But he has been really, really good since then. 21 countries and territories represented. We're not going to do it on the broadcast, but wonder if you and I could get all 21.
You got the wheels spinning now.
I feel like we could. Between the two of us, I feel like we could.
For this season, man.
I think we can do it.
I think so. I mean, I could give it a red hot crack. We got plenty of time during the game. Some homework. I like
Bruce Maxwell. Count 2-1 now on him. Bruce Maxwell, one of the guys born here in Germany on this roster. Wiesbaden. The entirety of Germany's catching core was born here in Germany. Vincent Ahrens, who we have seen in the qualifiers. Maxwell shoots one out to left field, and that'll settle into the glove of Matej Menchik. Vincent Ahrens is from Cologne. Simon Göring, who is the captain of this team, and we've seen over at first base, he's from Stuttgart. There is even a member of this Germany squad born in Australia. Wilson Lee, born in Darwin.
Well, how about that?
And he homered.
He's my new favorite player.
Now you've got you got somebody you can bond over.
Now speaking of Bruce Maxwell, the catcher born here in Germany, again he is not far off from getting that bat going. You see, 2 out, plunking Altair. That's just a breaking ball getting away, slipping out of the side of the hand. Padishak. Man, he's been so efficient after that first inning. 2 quick outs here again in the third.
Trying to find the number for the amount of batters we have seen hit by pitches so far in this qualifier. That is the 16th.
A lot of them with 2 strikes, too.
Yeah, a lot with 2 strikes. 16 hit batsmen through not even 7 games. We're in game 7 right now. Whoa. Broken bat here as Aldrich will head back to the dugout.
See, if I somehow nail these countries and just absolutely just roll through and get everyone correct, everyone listening is going to think I just went straight to Google, right?
Right.
So I feel like I've got a pretty good chance of doing it. Maybe in between the games. We've got a huge game tonight, Great Britain versus Spain. I can't wait for that 7 o'clock local time.
We can record like a time-lapse video so people know that you're not Googling.
Yeah, there you go.
You're just writing them all out. 21. I feel like we could do it.
And by the way, my baseball trivia is brutal. Like,
really?
I feel like my baseball history for one goes back to like, 1993. That's basically it. Anything that happened before that doesn't exist. Besides Babe Ruth for me.
Pitch on the way to Aldrich off the plate, 1-2.
Yeah, I've done some shows on MLB Network, and we've had some, old greats. And I'm not going to lie, that, going into prep for those games, I had to prep hard because I didn't even know who this guy is.
Who, I feel like there's got to be somebody who sticks out that you just did not know was a stud until after you had to work together or something and you had to do some of the prep.
Oh man, there's been quite a few. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, who is this guy? Nolan Ryan? Who is this? Never heard of him. Here comes the 2-2 from Padishak. Sends the German dugout scattering, third base side.
One of them was one of my coaches. I had Kirk Gibson was my manager with the D-backs. Alan Trammell.
Oh, yeah.
Now, he was
Hall of Famer now.
He's a Hall of Famer. Now, he was on that coaching staff. And I'm not going to lie, man.
You had no idea.
Well, I think I'd heard the name before. But everyone, and rightfully so, everyone treated him like he was an absolute god. And he was.
You were like, what's the deal with this? Why is everybody so respectful of this guy?
Amazing career.
Baseball savant, Ryan Roland Smith. Baseball history major. Daniel Aldridge facing a 2-2 count. 3 runs on 2 hits on each side so far. And after Padishak started this count at 0-2, it's now 3-2.
And again, in the middle of this lineup, you mentioned it starting Aldrich off 0-2. Work that count back to 3-2. They will make you work, make you get deep in this count.
3-2 pitch coming to Aldrich. Altair is off from first, and that's fouled.
And this is it for Padishak. He will not pitch tomorrow. He can't. He's got the limitations. 51 pitches. Leave it all on the table. Leave nothing in the tank for your national team. Get to that World Baseball Classic in March. And we still don't know what pools these guys are going to go into either. And this is one thing, getting through this qualifier, but then all of a sudden, then you're up against the best in the world. I cannot wait for the World Baseball Classic.
Aldrich swings in, misses at 3-2. A nice bounce back there from Daniel Padishak, who gets the out, his first strikeout of the day. And we will move into the bottom of the third. Good one here in Regensburg, a 3-3 score after 2.5. Well, we are set for the 2023 return of the World Baseball Classic coming up in March. And the 4 teams that move on from here in Regensburg and next week in Panama City, 2 weeks from now, I guess, will join these 4 pools. 5-team pools, 20 teams, the largest field in WBC history, set to get rolling on March 8th in Taichung. 4 teams for opening round, 4 pools for opening round play, as those 20 teams will start making their way toward Miami. First time that California has not hosted the semifinals and the final for the WBC, but man, that the atmosphere in Miami in 2017.
Right.
So everybody talks about the the Dominican Republic Colombia game or the DR-US game as, holy smokes, that ball, or that bat rather, flung up onto the top of the netting third base side. Wojtek Menchik will go get another one. It just started absolutely dumping rain here out of nowhere. So that's obviously a factor. Miami will be a very cool host venue, though.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can't wait. I was talking about in the last half inning, just how exciting it is in the month of March. And I think the World Baseball Classic, from where it started in 2006, and we're going to get a chance in the night game here to talk to Miguel Batista, who was a part of that inaugural World Baseball Classic. You had Mike Piazza with Italy, you had David Ortiz, with the Dominican Republic, Miguel Cabrera, and Derek Jeter with the USA. But where it's come from 2006 until now, all of a sudden you see all the greats committing to play for Team USA already. Man, it is going to be exciting. I'll tell you what, if you're one of these teams, we've talked about this a lot throughout these qualifiers, if you're a Germany, a Czech Republic, even a Great Britain with a lot of these young players, and you have the opportunity to go on the same field as the best in the world, some of these superstars, man, I mean, that is enough right there, worth fighting for to get through this qualifier.
We started talking about this the other day. We got interrupted by some things on the field, but when you were playing, you and Team Australia went to Tokyo. You're playing at the Tokyo Dome in front of 50,000 people, which the passion that Japanese baseball fans have for their national team is unlike anything else in baseball. And you said you kind of had to talk some of the guys of Team Australia down a little bit because they were so intimidated by the specter of that.
Yeah. There was a lot going on, and you know, I was there in 2006. I was injured, actually. I didn't get a chance to pitch, but I just remember just feeling like, what am I doing here? I mean, you know, we had to work out that first day, Team Australia, and then we're getting off the field, and here comes the Dominican Republic. And like I said, some of those players on that roster, I was an A-ball kid, and I was so intimidated. Then we lose another bat.
Man. And
this
that
time
one stuck in the netting.
This one may not come down. You're going to need a stepladder to come get this thing.
That's not great. You
can see how slick it is on the field. You mentioned that rain just kind of came out of nowhere.
It really did. It started kind of sprinkling, and then all of a sudden we looked out toward the end of the inning break, and it was just pouring buckets.
But just back to the Tokyo Dome, I remember it was so loud, and we walked out to warm up, and I'm talking, this is a good 45 minutes before first pitch. And I walked down, I was one of the veteran players. That was going to be my last hurrah on that field. I was going to hang it up at that point and, you know, try and go out with a bang, hopefully, you know, to get through the next round. But some of the young players, and we're talking some good young players who get another look, that bat just stuck up there in the netting. Man, we're going to need some help.
Just going to play with it there. It'll be like, it's ornamental now.
Look, one of these young fans can Spider-Man up that net and go grab it. Maybe give him the free bat for the effort.
Yeah, I feel like if you clamber up the net and get it yourself, that's your bat.
Exactly.
Like that should be the trade.
For sure. But just, you know, and I'm talking, you know, some guys who, you know, big prospects in the U.S. who were just, you could see they were nervous. They've never been on that stage before, not even close. And just having some of the conversations said, hey, you're okay. I said, you'll never forget this moment. Playing in front of a packed house in the Tokyo Dome against Team Samurai, Team Japan. It was intense, but man, I'll never forget it.
So after the strikeout of Menchik, Petrozima now the batter. 2-1 on him. This game started on some wild notes. Germany got a 3-run homer with 2 outs from William Germain in the top of the first, and we thought, well, Czech Republic, it's an elimination day. You just got to chip away, do what you can. Well, 4 batters into the bottom of the first, they had tied this game on 2 homers. They had 3 combined home runs in the first inning. Since then, not a whole lot going on in terms of base traffic. We have not had a single hit since that first inning.
Yeah, you can see Michael Beeline not really affected by the rain, pumping low 90s, getting a nice rhythm. It's just interesting. We'll see how far he can get his team into this game. With some of the limitations, didn't throw a whole lot of innings at once in the U.S.
Up and in for ball 4. That'll put Zima on with 1 gone. And it brings up Marek Klup. We're talking about pronunciations and all that. I think Marek Klup's name is my favorite to say. Klup.
Klup? I struggle with that one.
It's a fun one. It's like something about it. It's very melodic sounding. Marek Klup.
I might just stick with the first name basis. We're boys. We're friends.
Yeah.
Hey, Merrick. What's up, man?
Been on.
We're boys.
This is the 3rd game we've done for him. It's like you've known each other forever now.
That's right.
Mark in there from the right side. Struck out in the first inning after Petrozima's 2-run homer. Foul this pitch away. Two games today here in Regensburg, 1 tomorrow, with 2 spots in the World Baseball Classic on the line over the next 30 hours, 32 hours-ish. We will send one team onto the WBC tonight when Spain and Great Britain get set to square off. Winner of that game will move on to the full tournament. The winner of this game will play the team that loses that Spain-Great Britain matchup tonight. That game's set for 7 o'clock tomorrow, right back here in Regensburg. And then we're done for this event
And off to
I
Panama.
can't believe it. Off to Panama, starting on September 30th. That is going to be quite a weather shock change from temperatures. I believe temperatures tomorrow night are supposed to be in the low 40s Fahrenheit for our final game of this World Baseball Classic qualifiers. Mark Klubko's down swinging. And going to Panama, it is going to be warm, probably very humid. It'll be a little bit different baseball.
It feels very postseason-esque. I feel like you're in the midst of October baseball right now with this weather.
It is really cool. I mean, you see everybody bundled up behind the plate, and it does feel like October. And we are getting close, as crazy as that is. We're already seeing teams clinch playoff berths in Major League Baseball. Los Angeles Dodgers are in. New York Mets are in. Ryan's Seattle Mariners closing in on a wild card berth, potentially. Houston Astros, the lone team to clinch to this point on the American League side. They've already clinched the division there. Yeah, those wild card races. There we go. There's that October baseball look.
Yeah. Sticking around, day game, midweek.
Those wild card races are something else. The National League wild card, at least for everybody behind Atlanta, is still very tight. San Diego, Philadelphia, and Milwaukee. But on that American League side, Toronto, Tampa Bay, Seattle, they've been duking it out all season long. Toronto's still kind of hanging around. The White Sox still hanging around.
I love the third wild card in each league for so many different reasons. Number one, obviously, keeps more teams competitive. You know, keeps more fan bases dialed in when you're talking July, August, September.
Broken bat flare out left side, and that kicks off the glove of Jermaine, and everybody's safe. That was a little strange one. Martin Cervenka, it looked like maybe Cody Schultz would have the play over there.
Yeah, it's like this play was in slow motion. You see the broken bat here from Cervenka. The ball kind of sits up. Not a whole lot of speed. And bounces off his glove. Really nothing doing. Kind of took him by surprise too. Sometimes when you get those jam shots like that, it kind of sits up in the air and throws a changeup at you playing third base. But just back to that wild card too. The other element, how competitive it was at the trade deadline too, because there's more teams involved, more teams, scurrying to try and bolster their roster. I love the idea. Then the format too, the fact that you don't bow out. If you've had such a good year, you might win 100 games or be behind a good team in your division. All of a sudden you're bowing out in that first game. So I love the fact that the 3-game series to kick it off.
Infield single there for Martin Cervenka, by the way. So he's got 2 hits today. Yeah, the fact that a full 162-game season now is not going to potentially hinge on a coin flip of a 1-game wild. And I have loved the wild card game, but getting a chance to play a series there now, I feel like does give you a more complete picture of those teams that'll be in that wild card set.
Yeah, it really does. And I think the downside too, I mean, obviously you have the bye round. It's only 3-game series. You only got to sit out if you're winning your division, one of those top 2 teams in the league. But you have that bye round. I've spoke to friends of mine who, ex-teammates and guys I played against who said they don't like sitting around waiting when they have those big lapses with playoffs because they sort of lose that momentum.
Another hit by pitch, the 17th of this qualifier.
Again, this is another breaking ball, a little rain assisted. That's slick out there trying to get a grip. Obviously nothing intentional. Trying to get your team back in the dugout with 2 outs. Infield single before it, but yeah, you can see Beeline right now on the mound just rubbing his hand along his pants, just trying to clean his cleats out. Get a good feel for that ball. It's tough to pitch in rain. Really is. Some guys really struggle with it. Not only the grip of the ball, but underneath your feet, your front foot starts to slide as you try and slam the brakes on when you're coming down that mound. Your foot slides around a bit. It's tough to really get that feel and that command.
Visit to the mound from Troy Williams, the pitching coach for Germany. And we'll talk things over with Michael Beeline.
A couple things looking at this little mound visit. First of all, it gets your bullpen going. He's got new pitcher's going to try and get moving quickly down that German bullpen as we see, but just trying to press the reset button. He's got 2 quick outs. Keep making pitches. I will say this: when you're pitching in this situation and the rain's off and on, and you see that pitching coach come out to the mound, you're like, hey, listen, go back to the mound. I want to get through. I don't want to be standing out here in the rain. Let's go. The wetter I get, the harder it is to pitch. But hey, we'll see. It's a big at-bat right here with loaded bases.
First pitch on the way to Martin Mujic is off the plate for ball 1.
He's already 36 pitches. We talked about the workload he had in the U.S. Keep in mind, pay attention to some of the fatigue, some of the command might start to slip as well.
Mujic against Spain hit the second home run of 3 in the 5th inning to keep that game going for the Czech Republic. They trailed by 19 going to the bottom of the 5th and then scored 5 there, kept that game alive. He added a single next time out against France. Looking for his first hit here today. And instead, another base runner, another hit by pitch, and the Czech Republic gets its first lead of the day.
And look, that hurts right now when you get drilled for music, but you'll take it any day of the week when you're trying to get your team across the line to qualify the Czech Republic. You can see he's in pain, but you know what? Get you that lead, 4-3 now, Czech. Yeah, you don't want to show anyone that you're stinging, you're throbbing a little bit right there above the elbow.
In the cold, too. That makes it even worse.
Yeah, good point. Cold, rainy day.
And that is going to be the end of the afternoon for Beeline, as Michael Beeline, the NC State product, just struggling to command things here in the 3rd. A walk, 2 players hit by pitches, and despite 3 strikeouts, he exits here in the 3rd.
The environment is so festive. Fans here enjoying what they're seeing at this time.
Marching to the World Baseball Classic.
New arm into the game for Germany as we continue along here in the bottom of the 3rd inning is Dalton von Schaman, who inherits kind of a tough situation. A rainy day, or a day that has turned rainy. It was beautiful when we got this game started. And Dalton getting warm in the bullpen down the left field line as Michael Beeline kind of struggled to command things this inning. A couple of strikeouts, but a walk, a single, 2 players hit by pitches, and Von Schaman inherits the bases loaded with 2 gone.
And we saw Von Schaman couldn't get through his inning. The first game we saw, Germany against Great Britain. Gave up 3 runs, 3 hits. But he's available today. again, I'm just kind of surprised. I get it, some of the limitations you have with affiliated players, but for Jansen really emptying the tank when it comes to his pitching stuff, and they live to fight another day. It's going to be interesting how he plays it tomorrow.
You know, we were talking with Martin Klaus from the Czech Republic, and he said there's a saying in Czech baseball. He said, I don't know if this translates the same in the U.S., but he said, you can save all your pitching for tomorrow, and then tomorrow it'll rain.
Right.
Yeah, in order to get to tomorrow, you got to manage today to win. And that's going to be the tough challenge going forward for these coaching staffs. A rip back up the middle, and the Czech Republic will extend its lead. Cervenka scores from third, rounding third, digging for the plate. Menchik scores a 2-run single with 2 gone, and Arnoš Dubovi comes through.
Dubovi being a factor again. These Czech fans are excited early. 3rd inning. And all of a sudden starting to expand that lead. All this with 2 out. We had the hit batter and then a 2-run single.
Yeah, this was 2 out, 1 on.
And a great spot too as far as their pitching staff goes. They know this team. They know Germany very well.
That is 6 straight scored now by the Czech Republic since that 3-run outburst by Germany in the top of the first. 6 runs on just 4 hits, too. It always drives you a little nuts if you're on the pitching side of a line like that. It means you've been handing away some base runners. That's what the German squad has done here in the 3rd. Even in the first inning, Wojtek Menchik walked to lead off. That was aboard when Petr Zima hit a 2-run homer. On a walk, 2 players hit by pitches in this inning, 2 singles. And the Czech Republic sitting pretty now here in the bottom of the 3rd. 3 balls and no strikes on Filip Šmola.
That's that changeup, 2-0. Changeup here with 2 outs. Treating Šmola very carefully.
.30. And that's a very close ball 4.
Another walk command becoming an issue. Up and down this pitching staff for Team Germany.
So still 2 out, but now the base is loaded again. And it brings up Jakub Heitmar out of the 9 spot. He bounced into a double play to end the 2nd inning. Strike 1.
Again, just to reiterate that point with having affiliated players, it's great to have them. It's exciting to have a big prospect from the U.S., but that organization's saying, look, you can borrow him, but there is going to be some limitations. There are some rules that go into it that we're creating as well. And no doubt that was the case with the first 2 pitches we saw, Beeline and Tommy Sommer for the German team. Really puts you in a tight spot, especially right now with your pitching staff. It's a 3rd inning. You're already hemorrhaging some of those pitches, some of that efficiency.
Broken bat, roller out towards short, and the 6-4 putout will close things here in the 3rd. But the Czech Republic plates another 3 and carries a 3-run lead to the 4th in Regensburg. You don't often see a swing and a miss, a ball or a bat that goes flying and then gets stuck in the netting behind home plate. But Wojtek Menchik lost his bat a moment ago, and they just figured out how to get it down. That was impressive work.
Now, what a team effort from some of the German fans, the Bat Boys getting up there amongst that net. Now, that was up there, too. I mean, you're going to need a ladder. Look at this.
Here it is.
You got the shake. Hopefully we can see the German fan who was on crutches, by the way.
Yeah.
Trying to favor a little knee injury, and he's got the crutch on it. Look at that. Got it down. I was saying in the break, too, Tyler, I was talking to you about this. I was like, is Menchik, the leadoff hitter who did strike out, is he just going to leave that bat up there where no one can reach it and just try and curse the German?
That's the pox on the house of the third base dugout.
Right.
That's some good sportsmanship, though, a fan in a Deutschland outfit doing the...
Kind of similar to when Yankee Stadium was the foundations were being laid. What was the story? Somebody
put a Red Sox jersey,
David Ortiz jersey, in the cement.
In the cement.
That's right.
When they built the new Yankee Stadium as an attempt to curse the Yankees going forward. Except then they won a World Series there. And they won a World Series their first year.
It didn't work.
Didn't really work.
Guy's probably trying to get a jackhammer to get his
Red Sox back.
Jersey. You see Padishak still in this game. 3 strong right now. He's 54 pitches deep.
And as you can see, the sun is back out. It's turned yet again into a pleasant little afternoon here in Regensburg. Leadoff man William Germain, who belted that 3-run homer back in the first. Look who's hanging out. The French Rooster.
He missed the team charter jet back to Paris.
He was out getting after it on a night in Regensburg. Missed the flight back home. Good dig over there at first by Martin Mujic. 1 up, 1 down.
He's over there with the Czech fans.
Yeah,
look at him.
I guess there is
no loyalty. And if you're wondering, I guess it's the rooster, right? From just the French rooster, I guess.
Which is you know, I think that's one of their national symbols. I did not know that they would apply it to the baseball team, and I'm very impressed by that.
He's a fun mascot. We've seen a couple mascots walking around here. We still haven't seen the Legionnaire just yet.
We have not.
We have
very disappointed about.
The free hugs from the Wolf walking around the stands yesterday. Got him on camera, which is good.
Germany's mascot. One gone. Here's Lucas Dunn, right-handed hitting first baseman for this Deutschland squad.
That's a tough flight home, too, for South Africa and France. I saw a couple of them leaving the hotel. I've been there. You get bounced out of that. We got bounced out of that first round of the WBC, and it's a somber flight, that's for sure.
1-1 laced into center. That is the first base hit for Germany since William Germain's 3-run homer in the first and a 1-out base runner aboard.
And we talked about Czech Republic chipping away, but don't sleep on this German team. We have seen the middle of that lineup come to life the last couple of days. There's some serious power, especially with Aaron Altair in the middle of it. 7 years with the Philadelphia Phillies, hitting 19 home runs only a couple of years ago. They can get moving, that is for sure.
That does seem very much like the right description, a somber flight.
It's tough.
When things don't go well for you at the WBC.
Yeah, and we talked a lot about this yesterday, obviously, with the South African team. You're trying to build from the ground up. You spend months and months trying to get everything moving in the right direction for your national team to try and get through that first round. That's always, Team Australia's, for me, it was always get to that second round.
Drive out in the air to right center field. Moving back on it is Moorer, and at the wall, or Kloop rather, he pulls it in with a spectacular grab. And again, the way the ball is carried here in Regensburg, you just kind of don't know how to play things in the outfield.
Man, this is a great route to this ball. We talked about the wind holding the ball up and that thing carrying well over your right-hand shoulder here right, from Murray Kloop. Look at that, timing that so well, taking some fence with you. Look at him, fired up.
That is a great catch.
Really is. We've seen some defensive mishaps or missed opportunities from a lot of these teams, which has cost them games. Good grab, too, especially when you're here in the 4th inning. You've got Padishak now with 62 pitches, keeps that pitch count nice and healthy.
He has really settled in.
He really
since
has.
that first pitch strike to Cody Schultz.
And especially what we saw from him that first game. We get another look at it. It's tough because you can't drag your feet here. You can't drift with that ball because of the wind. Really good route, just timing that jump so well.
Two gone, 0-1 count on Schultz. Home plate umpire today is Kyohei Makida. He's from Japan. Darius Ghani is at third base. Mark Winter at second, and Tyler Jones at first. Those three from the United States. 1-1. 1-2. It was a good-looking breaking ball from Daniel Padishak. He's just got confidence throwing everything right now.
Yeah, he does, in different counts, too. Again, when you have that second option, that breaking ball you can throw at will for a strike, man, makes it tough to square up that fastball.
1-2, broken bat, and that little looper out to second is an easy play for Jakub Heidmar, and that retires the side here in the 4th. Germany gets its first hit since the first inning, but leaves it aboard. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. 6-3, Czech Republic.
Welcome back to Regensburg, Germany. We're here in the 5th inning, Czech Republic, and the host country team, Germany. The World Baseball Classic qualifying round starts September 16th, and you can watch all 12 countries compete for free. Catch all the action live from Germany and Panama on worldbaseballclassic.com and by following at WBC Baseball on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We've had plenty of back and forth on social media, Tyler, you and I. You can reach out to Tyler at TylerMaun, that's Tyler M-A-U-N, or myself at -18 on Twitter and Instagram. But we've had so much good back and forth, a lot of good banter, especially with some of the Mariner fans with Harry Ford and some of the locals here in Regensburg. It's been fun.
Leadoff man here in the bottom of the 4th for the Czech Republic is Wojtek Menchik. You are, of course, at -18 on Twitter and on Instagram. Did you, so as we know, first hyphenated player in the history of Major League Baseball, and there was a fantastic Seattle Mariners commercial that you starred in which they pitched a promo night in which everybody would get a T-shirt that just had a hyphen on it.
Right.
Did anybody call you that before that commercial?
Yeah, so
okay.
When I first got called up to the big leagues, I'm 24 years old, and I'll try and make this story quick. But, a couple things going into that. I come off the field. I was in the big leagues for literally 20 minutes at that point. And the PR director came over to me. He ran over. He was all excited. He goes, "Hey, you understand? You realize this is it's going to be a big night when you come into the game. I said, why? He said, you'll be the first ever Major League player with a hyphenated name. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, so? And then the Mariners really pushed it hard. Even on social media, when Twitter first started, I was one of the first players ever to have a Twitter account, and they set it all up for me at -18.
1-2 rope to left field, and a leadoff single here for Wojtek Menchik. So it was partially the team was creating that aura for you.
The Seattle Mariners do a great job. I've got to give it to them. Big shout out to them with their marketing and how they sort of bolster these different characters for their players. And for myself, you know, being an Aussie, they really tried to push. I had another commercial about, you know, the whole Australian spin, but they did a really good job, you know, with all that kind of stuff. There was moments I'm like, all right, enough with the hyphen stuff, please. Yeah. I want people to remember me for what I do on the field. But no, it was a lot of fun. Kind of stuck.
First pitch on the way to Petra Zima is there for a strike. It's 0-1. Dalton Duke Von Schaman out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. So his baseball reference page is Dalton Von Schaman. His page in the internal MLB stats portal is Duke Von Schaman. And let's be honest, for a guy pitching on the Team Germany staff, Duke Von Schaman is far more fitting.
Absolutely.
For this. Good pitch there to fool Zima. It's 0-2.
I'll go with Duke. Nothing against any Daltons out there listening, but Duke, man.
Duke is great.
Throw a Duke in there, that's solid.
Former 15th round pick of the Los Angeles Dodgers out of Texas Tech University.
That's elite. It's an elite big league name right there.
Duke
I'm sticking with it.
Von Schaman made it all the way to AAA in the Cleveland organization in 2014. He has pitched an independent ball since 2016. Most recently with the Atlantic League's York Revolution in York, Pennsylvania. Man, I was looking at some of the teams that other players on these squads have played with, and Daniel Aldrich, the designated hitter today for Germany, he's playing 2022 with the San Rafael Pacifics. They're in the Pecos League, which is that you are another check over on the runner at first. You are somebody who's very much in love with still playing the game of baseball when you're pursuing it to leagues like the Pecos League. And that's not taking a shot at the Pecos League, but I'm just saying in terms of the strata of independent baseball, the Pecos League is the one that, you know, resource-wise is not as glamorous. It's not the Atlantic League. It's not the American Association.
Right.
That's you love the game if you're sticking it out.
Yeah, and for a lot of guys who even former big league players and, you know, guys who are playing professionally and they want to continue their career, they want to keep it going. Obviously, independent ball is that option, but at what level of independent ball? It's the big strike arrow there, that sinking fastball for the Duke. But you know, when you make that decision, you know, I want to continue my playing days.
Yeah.
And obviously, the Atlantic League's at the top. A lot of guys come out of the Atlantic League, get back to the major leagues or get back to affiliated baseball.
That's now, of course, a partner league with Major League Baseball as well.
And then it kind of trickles down from there. But you're right, man, when you're talking the Pecos League, that's some commitment.
There was a documentary about the Pecos League back in 2014, and it was fascinating. It was shortly after the launch of Sports Network in the U.S., Fox Sports 1, and they commissioned, I want to say it was an 8-episode docu-series about the Pecos League, and man, it was fascinating because it really is the type of place where you have to have a whole lot of other hustles in order to still make it work. It's not, you know, you're generally not living off your signing bonus. You're not staying in glamorous hotels or doing all those sorts of things. It is a place where you are, you know, focusing on baseball as much as possible, but you've also got to have other things that are going to get you through life.
Yeah, it's and the other part of this is too. You know, let's say you get out of affiliated baseball, you're in your mid-20s, you're starting to see your friends, you know, or your family members get on with life. They're starting to, you know, have families, and get those career jobs, and there you are, still hustling, still grinding it out, trying to make it happen somehow, some way. Keep that dream alive.
Mark Loop facing an 0-2, takes that breaking ball away, 1-2. Wojtek Menchik to lead off single here in the fourth. Petrozima struck out behind him, and now Loop with already 2 strikeouts on his ledger today, trying to avoid a third.
Von Schaman has been picking over a whole lot with Menchik at first base, got speed.
1-2. Got him on a swing and miss. Third strikeout of the day for Mark Loop.
I got to tell you, talk about pitching the Pecos League regardless. When you throw 88 with that good sink and out of the same tunnel as this changeup right here, this is 81, and you just cannot pick up that rotation of the ball or the arm speed. That's a really good secondary pitch for the Duke, Von Schaman. I'm going to stick with Duke, Duke.
I like the Duke.
Yeah, I
like that as a nickname. It's pretty good. This now brings up Martin Cervenka, the catcher, who's got a homer and an infield single today. He has driven in a run. He scored a run. First pitch to him is away. 1-0.
Nothing doing down at the German bullpen. We've seen that short leash from the German manager, Janssen. He's going to have to ride this one out. Again, that bullpen is razor thin. They still have to keep tomorrow in the back of their mind as well.
1-0 from Von Schaman. Foul. Sunsplash Field here in Regensburg on what has turned into a beautiful little Tuesday. Some gorgeously repainted WBC logos and word mark behind home plate here. Murray Cook's field staff doing incredible work as always. 1-1 pitch to Cervenka in tight. 2-1.
Nearly had our 18th hit by pitch. Cervenka able to get out of the way of this running fastball.
It really is crazy that we're at 6.5 games played. We've had 17 players hit by pitches. And yeah, I would guess that the majority have been on 2 strikes. 2-1. 3-1. And a lot of breaking balls. Guys have come in tight and hit players with, trying to deal a 2-strike curveball, and you come in close and end up plunking them. 3-1 now from Von Schaman to Cervenka. That one's there for ball 4.
This time a fastball just above the strike zone. I would lay off that pitch. Extend this inning. Runner in scoring position.
Close, but not quite close enough to keep that at bat alive. And now here comes the older Menchik, Matej Menchik, with 2 on and 2 out.
Yeah, one thing, especially about these umpires too, there's been a lot of, griping back and forth from dugouts, but I've got to say Makita's had a really good strike zone throughout this game.
That's something we talked about, I think in game number 1 maybe, of this qualifier, which is when you get the complaints from both dugouts, it seems to feel like, well, it's consistent. It might not be the zone that you want, but at least it's a consistent zone. First pitch on the way, little broken bat bouncer out towards second, off the bag and past Cardozo, and that'll bring in a run. Oh, what a weird break for Germany, and it turns into a single for Menchik and a 7-3 lead in the 4th.
Wow, what a break for this Czech team. All of a sudden, you got 2 down in this inning. You're a pitch away. Von Schaman's starting to get a nice little rhythm. Then all of a sudden, you walk Cervenka, then a ball hit back up the middle, tags the bag, and next thing you know, you extend that lead.
Man, that is brutal for Germany. That was going to be such an easy play for Marco Cardozo, and as he went to field it, it just shot off into shallow right. This Czech team, that is 7 straight scored since they went down 3-0 in the top of the 1st. And now here is Mujik with a chance to add to it. First and third, 2 gone. So a reminder, the winner of this game stays alive for a play-in game for the World Baseball Classic tomorrow. He's swinging out of his helmet, 0-1. Tonight's matchup, Spain and Great Britain. The loser of that game will face the winner of this one. And the winner of that game is on to the WBC in March. 7 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Czech Republic. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Germany. Grounder over 2-2. Cardoso's got a chance at this one a little cleaner, and that will retire the side. But the Czech Republic adds another one, and we head to the 5th, the 7-3 Czech lead.
And welcome back to the top of the 5th here in Regensburg. Czech Republic up against the host nation, Germany. Czech Republic out to a 7-3 lead. And with that, I'm going to read this copyrighted telecast. Is presented by authority of World Baseball Classic Inc. and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. And it has been a grind for both of these teams, trying to get in a rhythm. We've dealt with some rain, some of the elements, a couple big home runs. But I'll tell you what, Czech Republic are in a very comfortable position. Their starting pitcher, Padishak, who pitched a couple nights ago, has been absolutely dialed in since that first inning. We talked about it, Tyler Munn and myself. We talked about all of a sudden Germany jumped out to that 3-0 lead. And you think to yourself, if you're Martin Padishak on the mound for Czech Republic, how do you bounce back? And man, has he done so nicely. This has been outstanding effort since that first inning. There's a base hit. Now all of a sudden, Germany in business. Seen plenty of this too. I think the one thing with Germany is they can hit. We've seen some power in the middle of a lineup. It's just about getting there and getting there with runners on base, runners in scoring position. Head back to the top of the lineup now with Demetrius Mora, 2 home runs yesterday. Germany trying to get something going since that first inning. Tyler, I think it's still early enough. It's only the 5th inning to try and crawl your way back in this game.
And especially facing a guy that you were able to touch up in the first. Leadoff single by this guy, Moore. A couple of walks behind him, a 3-run homer by Jermaine. Since then, not much. This is the first leadoff base runner for Germany since that first inning.
Yeah, I think that's the most impressive thing about Daniel Padishak's afternoon, because first of all, you scripted how you want to go. If you're in that Czech Republic dugout, in that locker room, you say to yourself, okay, Padishak, try and get us as deep as you possibly can. We're going to push you out to 85 pitches. He's already at 70. Then you come out, you give up that 3 spot. It's tough to look your teammates in the eye. I've been there before. You're in an elimination game. It's all or nothing. And all of a sudden, you've just given up a 3-run lead. Then your team responds, and you have done nothing but just carve up this German lineup since.
Yeah, you got to get off the leash. Trailing after that top of the first, and now a wild pitch here will put Germany's potential 4th run in at scoring position. And yeah, you get back to an even footing, and like we said, it could go one of 2 ways for the Czech Republic. You give up the lead in the top half, immediately get it back, and it felt like that gave this Czech side all the momentum, and it's played out that way ever since, but now Germany finally starting to threat.
Yeah, no way Cervenka could get that ball. All of a sudden, now you got runner in scoring position. And 72 pitches again, 85 is the limit, and then we'll dabble into some of that depth. We've talked about this all game long, all qualifiers long, the depth of these pitching staffs.
3-1, more skies at foul.
And for the Czech Republic too, I mean, yeah, you got Schneider. You're talking about Schneider potentially coming back. He threw 4 innings just a couple days ago, but kept it under 50 pitches.
Yeah, you were actually kind of in disbelief when we were looking at the box scores earlier. You said, these are 4 innings at 47 pitches? Which is really impressive work. (3-2). Moore will face another one.
And you talk about, on the flip side of that, on Team Germany, Kit Sheets, he's only available tomorrow. Martinson, he's available today. They kept him under 30. Whitgren, who was in the big leagues with the St. Louis Cardinals, he's available. But, again, they pitch today. Guess what? They're not available tomorrow.
This is one of the most interesting things about having a former pitcher as a color guy, a swing and a miss here, and Moorer's gone on strikes, is understanding the intricacies of all that.
And that's a big strikeout right there. The guy hit 2 home runs. We'll take a look at it too. The pitch use limitations. If a pitcher throws 30-plus pitches, he has to rest for that 1 day, and that was pretty crucial, the fact that we had the rain out for Team Germany because they had to play yesterday. If a pitcher throws 50-plus, must rest at least 4 days, and pitcher cannot throw more than 85 pitches, and this is what Padishak is up against right now, the starter for Czech Republic. All of a sudden now he's at 75. He's essentially got 10 pitches. Can he get through this 5th inning and put his bullpen, put his team in a good spot?
Yeah, especially if you can somehow get through the rest of the inning on those remaining now 9 pitches, because then you set your bullpen up for only needing to get 4 innings to get across the line. And we heard of potentially 4 guys who were lined up for today: Michal Kovala, Jan Novak, Jan Tomek, and Martin Schneider. But now 2 balls and no strikes here on Maxwell. But being able to dive into the intricacies of who is available, who is not, and how you try to manage things, that was one thing that I was excited to listen to from you today, because it's a lot of complicated chess piece positioning in your coaching staff.
And it really is, and I've had to deal with it. You know, you play multiple World Baseball Classics. It's always a big strategic standpoint for your manager. And also, too, even at the World Baseball Classic, look, you might have we saw Daisuke Matsuzaka, Yu Darvish, some of these Japanese pitchers, but they also have these limitations too. You all have to deal with them. So you see Bruce Maxwell, super patient at the plate. But I think too, from a Team USA standpoint, it doesn't matter if it's Team USA or you all of a sudden you Czech Republic getting your way through, you all have to deal with the same limitations as that level playing field. I think this is going to be it for Daniel Padishak.
Yeah, that is the end of the day for Padishak, and the 18-year-old Mikhail Kovala is the one who appears to be heading in from down the right field line, although they have not signaled for him yet. Pavel Hadim, the manager of this Czech Republic squad, you are allowed to finish an at-bat. If you start an at-bat prior to 85 pitches and you go over 85 pitches, that's okay. You can finish that at-bat. But, yeah, wow, Kovala came out, was jogging down the foul line, coming to the game, and then he just kind of stopped and looked around and decided to turn around and beeline it back.
Man, I got to say, for Daniel Padishak, the effort, especially, we talked about that first inning, the effort and what he's done for his team. I guarantee he would have made swift eye contact for his manager in this situation, Hadim, and gave him that look as if to that non-verbal cue, as if to say, get back to the dugout.
I'm not coming out of here.
I'm not moving. Love it. And he is running on fumes right now too. You can see that command start to move away from him a little bit. Good, still good velocity though. He's trying to get on top of these pitches.
All he needs is a ground ball here from Aaron Altair. 1-0 pitch. 2-0.
Yeah, not to mention you have the biggest threat in the German lineup right now. Someone who can make this game extremely close with one swing of the bat. Big at bat right here in this game.
Altair went yard off the batter's eye in the 6th inning last night. That 11-5 win over South Africa. 3-0 on him. This will be the last batter of the day, one would assume, for Padishak, the starter. Aldrich waiting in the on-deck circle. Trying to not load him up and bring the tying run to the plate. 3-0 is there for strike one.
Man, these are those moments. It doesn't matter how fatigued, how gassed you are in this situation. You just got to take that pitches away from being finished for a long time here until March.
Ball 4. They are loaded up. In theory, you could see one more batter from Padishak, but Pavel Hadim is out from the first base dugout, and that'll do it. And if the appearance of Mikhail Kovala down the right field line was any indication a moment ago, it looks as though Hadim will turn to the 18-year-old to try to get out of this jam. And we'll tell you about him when we return. 7-3 our score in the 5th, but Germany threatening with the bases loaded and one out.
And welcome back to Regensburg, Germany. We have a pitching change, and what a moment for this 18-year-old Mikhail Kovala coming in, committed to Georgia Tech for the Czech Republic. Man, what a spot. We talked to some of the Czech Republic team about bringing him in a couple nights ago just to get his feet wet, get over the nerves, representing his country at such a young age. Man, is he ever in a bigger spot.
What faith to put in an 18-year-old kid, bringing him on with a bases loaded, one-out situation here in the top of the 5th. Kovala deals, and Aldrich over to first. The lead out on the runner at the plate, back to first, and it's up the line. That will bring in one more as Maxwell scores. And Germany has gotten one back on the error charge to Cervenka.
And what a break for Team Germany. Wow, Kovala getting that big double play ball. Only one out in this inning. Gets the first. Cervenka trying to get that second right off the top of that helmet. Man, we cannot talk enough, and we've seen it so much. The defense, first of all, for some of these teams, not that that was a mishap, but also some of those big moments. The ball off the bag at second base early in this game, giving Czech Republic a couple more runs. You're going to see Czech Republic come and say, look, is this runner interference right here?
Yeah, that's what Pavel Hadim at least wants to talk over with Kyohei Makeda, our home plate umpire from Japan. But, oh, man, what a brutal turn of events for the Czech Republic. I saw you're a former big league pitcher, and somebody who's probably seen that play out before. I saw you throw your hands up on top of your head like, are you kidding me? Top of the helmet and down the line. It's also one thing if it hits the runner and drops and stays on the infield, but that thing glanced perfectly off the top of the helmet, redirected all the way down the line, which allowed Maxwell to score easily.
I was feeling for this young man right here, Mikhail Kovala, because you are 18, you got one out. You still have to get through the heart of this order. And you get that one pitch and your eyes light up. You see that ball hit on the line, you're like, wow, okay, we're going to get out of this with nothing, no damage. And it's important for him right now as he's throwing these pitches not to anchor on that last play. Just move on, continue throwing strikes.
1-0. Good pitch, and it's 1-1. That is Germany's first run scored since the 3-run homer by Germain in the top of the first.
Here he is, one strike away.
1-2 pitch. Got him on the swing and miss. And Mikhail Kovala fired up, bouncing off the mound, yelling in the direction of the German dugout, and headed into that first base side to celebrate with his guys as he keeps the damage to just 1. And we move on to the bottom of the 5th in a 7-4 ball game in Regensburg. Czech Republic out in front. The rain has started again in Germany, just in time for some more drama between this Czech Republic squad and the German national team is back in Regensburg. It is a 7-4 lead for the Czech Republic, a game that looked like it was going to continue into the bottom of the 5th at 7-3, but Germany scratching a run across on an error charge to Martin Cervenka on what looked like it was going to be an inning-ending double play, and instead turned into a ball glancing off the helmet of a base runner and bringing one in. So Germany cuts the lead down to make it at least a save situation as of right now, at a 3-run deficit. And we're a long ways from that here, just in the bottom of 5, as count goes to 0-2 on Arnoš Dubovi, the leadoff man for the Czech Republic.
What a job from Mikhail Kovala, coming in loaded bases and getting through that unscathed, really just with the 1 run.
Bouncing ball fair up the first base side. It's going to be a tough play in on that option flip. Lucas Dunn gets it to his covering reliever, 1 out.
The option flip, I like that. Good one.
So that'll bring up Philip Schmola.
Now, for our friends watching over in Australia, can you explain yourself, please? Because I know we do have a couple Aussies listening from Australia.
Today, I dig it. The option is a play. Now, it's not really run so often in American football these days, but back when I was a kid and my now inept football alma mater, the University of Nebraska, when they were winning national championships and scoring tons of points per game, they would run the option, and it's a play in which a quarterback takes the ball, runs down the line with a trail running back behind him, and you can do kind of that side-handed flip, you know, which is similar, I guess, to certain type of backhanded flip that you would have as a second baseman going to a shortstop at the bag for an out, maybe to start a double play as an easy out there.
So it's kind of like a flip pass.
Right.
Pretty simple. Right away, Von Schaman getting some efficiency, especially after the last inning. I got to say, though, back to Kovala, to get that big strike, and you could see the emotion coming out of him, pointing towards that German dugout, getting through that inning. We talked about his composure, being 18 years old, not anchoring on the play, the error from Cervenka, and able to execute some big pitches in the 5th inning.
Man, it really shows you the maturity of somebody like Kovala that Pavel Hadim thinks, we got bases loaded, 1 out in a 4-run game in the 5th inning with our WBC lives on the line. I'm going to go to the teenager. I mean, that is incredible. Jakub Heidmar with 2 outs and the base is clear. Bounces the 0-1 foul, 0-2.
And he was earmarked to be that closer, too.
Yeah.
You know, we heard that. Yeah, coming into this, we've kind of figured out how do you line up your pitching staff. You have your certain guys who are going to be coming in, those setup guys, those late inning, high leverage situations. And then Kovala, 18 years old, like you said, committed to Georgia Tech to be the closer.
Check swing, and they will ring up Jakub Heidmar, who's a little confused by the signaling there from Kyohei Magata, the home plate umpire, but he has gone on strikes for the final out of the 5th inning. Tagged by Bruce Maxwell as the strikeout wraps things up. We are at the top of the 6th, and a good one in Regensburg. It's a 7-4 Czech lead. Top of the 6th inning in Regensburg. It's a 7-4 lead for the Czech Republic over Germany in a game that has gotten a little bit tighter over the last inning plus, as Germany scoring a run in the top of the 5th. And then a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Czech Republic in the bottom of 5. So the dynamic may be shifting a little bit here, as the leadoff man for Germany in the top of the 6th is Lucas Dunn. Back upstairs at Armin Wolf Baseball Arena, Tyler Maughan alongside Ryan Rowland-Smith, former big leaguer and Team Australia WBC pitcher. Line shot out in the left center field. That's a base hit past the dive of Wojtek Menchik, and a leadoff man on in the person of Lucas Dunn for Germany.
You see the difference right there from Kovler. This is another fastball up in the strike zone. The difference though, 2-0. So you can sit on that fastball a little bit more, around 90 miles per hour. Germany just trying to scratch and claw to get something going before that big hit comes. You know it's going to come at some point in the middle of this lineup. They've shown that.
This home crowd for Team Germany, they were on board in the top of the 1st inning. 3 runs across on a William Germain homer. This group was fired up here at Armin Wolf, and since then, not a whole lot to cheer about. Czech Republic scored 7 straight until the run across in the person of Bruce Maxwell last inning. It's kind of weird. Martin Mujic trying to slap a tag on there, and have you hurt his left forearm?
Ooh, maybe took it off the shin. Had their arm off the shin. Well done.
Marco Cardozo. Cardozo 0 for 2, couple of flyouts to right field. Big swing and a miss there. Cardozo fooled badly.
You can see some stare downs too. If the camera's catching this between Mikkel Kovler. Remember, he bounced off that bullpen, pointing into the German dugout, and you can see Cardozo making some eye contact, glaring back at the mound after every pitch.
Yeah, this is. There are some tempers getting a little bit heightened here in the 6th.
Yeah, this is a good breaking ball too. Makita just not budging on that strike zone at all. There's been a couple moments here with Kovler where he's questioned the umpire. Borderline pitches.
Very mindful of the leadoff base runner Lucas Dunn over there at first.
And pay attention too when you see that big hit from that German lineup, you will see some emotion pour out, especially towards Kovler, if they can get to him this inning.
2-1. Out to second. A candy hop. 4-6-3. 2 gone. Bases cleared. Man, Kovler is not holding back either. Pumping the fist and shouting out to his teammates as Marco Cardozo slammed his helmet down out past first base on that out.
Yeah, it's a big double play. Look at Mikkel Kovler letting the whole world know how excited he is. Big pitch right there. Look at that leadoff single. All of a sudden, you might get a little momentum from this German team, and you shut it down right away.
So now here's Cody Schultz. Actually, this is a pinch hitter on in place of Cody Schultz. This is Eric Brink, who will bat in place of Schultz. Actually got a tweet in a moment ago from Lisbon, Portugal, giving us a comp for Cody Schultz, Khalil Green.
Wow,
of course, now
Khalil Green.
Now he's not at the plate, so we can't look at him in the moment, but Khalil Green.
Haven't heard that name for a long time. San Diego Padres, St. Louis Cardinals.
Clemson product. Rain has started again here as Eric Brink Stares through the drops for the 1-1.
And that command being a factor too once it starts getting wet.
Ball 4, Branks will take his base. The delivery of Kovla, would you call that kind of a max effort? He's got a lot of energy in that delivery.
Yeah, it really is. It's, you know, he kind of loses his balance too a little bit. He's on his heel when he comes up. That's why it's important. If you are going to be violent like that in your delivery and max effort, you're going to make sure you're stable when you're moving down that mound. But you can see him from time to time where he kind of shutters in and out of being on time, being balanced. To be honest with you, I think he looks more stable when he's out of the stretch because he's trying to cut down that leg kick. But we see that a lot now in the major leagues, especially young kids. He's 18 years old. It's that max effort, high octane, trying to get that maximum output velocity-wise. So you see the big leg kick, driving off that back leg.
It is pouring again. This has been such a weird weather day because when it isn't raining, it's been generally sunny and nice. But the rain comes on, and it just starts dumping rain. We've got blue skies out beyond the left field wall. But a lot of rain coming down at the moment. 1-0 pitch there for a strike.
This is a big out right here, too. You have the top of the lineup coming up. Demetrius Mora. 2 home runs yesterday, so he has that power, even though he's at the top of the lineup.
They have flipped the lights on here, these brand new Musco light towers in Regensburg. We were treated to a light show after the rain out the other night, synced to some music. 1-1 pitch. Pretty amazing how far that technology has come along versus back in the day when they'd have the big old halogen bulbs. You get done with a fireworks show, it would take 45 minutes for the lights to come back on.
That's right. I'm still trapped in that mindset because I saw the lights flashing. I was like, hold on, don't these lights take a little while to get heated up?
How is this happening? Kovla ready. Here's his 2-1 on the way to Katowski, and that'll get away. So now the potential 5th run of the afternoon in scoring position for Germany with 2 outs and a 3-1 count on Katowski in the 6th.
Yeah, you talked about that delivery too, and I think with some of this rain, you have to take your time in between pitches. Make sure that ball feels nice and dry in your hand. Make sure your feet underneath you haven't got all that dirt in your spikes.
Wild pitch there that allows Branks to move into scoring position. 3 balls and a strike. Kovla home. Grooves it in there. 89 miles an hour for strike 2.
Big pitch right here, switching that ball up. A fresh one.
And again, to be doing this, a 3-run lead, the 6th inning, a full count, good bat at the plate, World Baseball Classic qualifier, and you are 18 years old. Mikhail Kovla kicks and deals, and a bouncing ball over to first. Should be an easy play for Mujic, who takes it on his own, and that does the job in the 6th. We will head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Czech Republic still out in front by 3. Rolling along into the bottom of the 6th inning in what is once again turning into a rain-soaked day here in Regensburg, Germany, as we are locked in a good one. A 7-4 lead for the Czech Republic over the host nation. 3-0 lead for Germany after the top of the 1st inning. Czechs came back and tied things immediately in the bottom of 1, got 3 back, then scored 3 more in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th. Czech Republic giving up a run on a weird play in the 5th. And now here we are in the bottom of the 6th, and second pitch of the inning bounced out too short, and Wojtek Menchik is the leadoff out.
It's important to keep that man off the bases late in this game. He's been an absolute spark plug for this offense. You're battling with rain. You want to get back in the dugout, get moving. You got the top of your order coming up. That man, Bruce Maxwell's leading off this inning. Get to your big bats.
Yeah, this game does have the feel right now of a lot of momentum hanging in the balance. It was very much on the side of the Czech Republic until that 1 run for Germany in the 5th. And then as Czech side went 3 up, 3 down, it's actually 5 straight retired by Duke von Schamann. When you count the final out of the 4th inning and the first out here in the 6th. That one's off the front leg of the designated hitter, Petr Zima.
Another thing to keep in mind as well as we go back to some of the pitch counts and the pitch limitations. Kovala, who's been so good today and was really good a couple days ago, he's at 24 pitches. So if he goes beyond that 30 pitch mark, he's unavailable for tomorrow. You lose your closer for tomorrow's qualification game if you get that far. Again, we know the Czech team, they don't care about tomorrow. We understand that, but something to keep in mind.
0-2. Swung on and missed. 6 straight retired now by von Schamann.
All of a sudden, von Schamann is in a nice little rhythm. That changeup, sinking down in on those hands. Good pitch.
That is his 4th strikeout now on the mound for Germany. He has really solidified things since Tommy Sommer and Michael Beeline scuffled a bit. I mean, you can hear that rain now in our crowd mics. It's coming down pretty good here in Regensburg. First pitch to Marek Klup is ball 1.
Trying to plow ahead here through the rain. We saw grounds crew members come onto the field, talk to the umpires, just kind of give them an update, weather update.
And the tough thing, too, is, you know, being the penultimate day of this qualifier, you don't want to see a game be determined because of rain. And
absolutely,
you know, that's something that is somewhat unique to baseball. Yes, we understand. But if it's day 1, it feels a little different if a game gets called early because of rain. Whereas when it's the second to last day of this qualifier, you really want these guys to play this out over the full 9 as the final out of the inning on a lob throw over to first. And yeah, right now, Duke von Schamann is cruising. He's retired 7 straight. It's stretch time in Germany. Czech Republic is 7-4 lead. Levy has had much better weather days than he is currently having right now atop our perch. There we are. Hi, I'm leaving. Good to see y'all.
Hey, and by the way, just to give you a little backstory too about him being on top of where we sit right here in the press box, there's no stairs down to the concourse.
No.
You have to wait for someone to give you, what do you call it the other day? What's the?
A scissor lift.
A scissor lift, that's right. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm not.
The scissor lift parked over, they usually keep it stowed kind of by that first base side. But yeah, basically Levy's just got to like wait around until like somebody comes by and can lift him up to the roof on the scissor lift.
I believe there's only 2 people in this building who can operate that scissor lift too. So he's up there for the long haul.
It's like the box crusher at Dunder Mifflin. Stay away from it.
Exactly.
Stay away from it. The Baylor, that's what it's called.
The Baylor, that's right.
The Baylor. Leadoff man here in the top of the 7th inning for Germany is Demetrius Maurer. Maurer today 1 for 3, a leadoff single on the first. He was caught stealing by Martin Cervenka. Grounded out in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th. Just missing there, count 2-1.
Now you can see how frustrated Mikhail Kovler is not getting those pitches, but I'm going to give it to Makita. He has been consistent all day long. And look, he's 18 years old. He's going to show a little emotion, lose that composure a little bit.
Back over the right-hander, but no trouble there for Jakob Heitmar. 1 out.
We talk about how important defense is in these games. This is a nice play. Let's not forget, it is hammering rain right now. It's slick out there. It's slippery. Doesn't have time to set his feet. Nice throw, and Mora can run down the line too. And look at this, 28 pitches. Now, the minute Kovler goes over 30 pitches, the closer of this team, he's been earmarked as that closer. He is unavailable for tomorrow's game, if they get that far, of course.
Bruce Maxwell takes a strike. Another among the relievers out in that bullpen down the right field line who could close going forward. Martin Schneider, we anticipate we might see him at some point today too. He is the, if you were tuned in a couple of nights ago when this Czech team was playing, Martin Schneider is the firefighter in the Czech Republic. He is out of Draci Brno. That's his extra league team. And we were telling the story that Czech firefighting shifts are 24 hours on, followed by 48 hours off. So during the weekend series, his team knows that they'll have 1 day in which they won't have Martin Schneider around to play games.
And the opposing team too. Like, hey, we're good. Played the 2 games. We're good for tomorrow, boys. I'll tell you what, though, Schneider, we heard that he did have some pro offers, but he turned them down because he wants to hit. 2-way player.
Strikeout there, Brooks Maxwell, 2 gone.
And Kovler making quick work. Bruce Maxwell, former major leaguer, up against an 18-year-old who now lives in the U.S., went to high school in the USA, and he's gone to Georgia Tech University. Just blew him away with that fastball up in the strike zone.
That is really impressive stuff. That is the 2nd strikeout of the day for Kovler. You know, the other thing, Ryan, too, we're talking about the emotion and what it means having an 18-year-old kid, as you see some members of that Team Spain squad over on the 3rd base side. There are, as Aaron Altair lifts this one out in the air to shallow left. We won't even get to that point, as with that ball twisting in the wind, no trouble for Wojtek Menchik, and that'll do it for Germany in the 7th. Now it's stretch time. 7-4 is the Czech Republic's lead. It is our penultimate day of the 2022 World Baseball Classic qualifier here in Regensburg, and we got a good one, a 7-4 lead for the Czech Republic over the host nation, Germany. Tyler Mon, Ryan Rowland-Smith. Ryan, that's really impressive work by a teenager out of the pen for the Czech Republic in a massive spot.
As I turn my microphone on, let's not forget, 18 years old, he came into this game with loaded bases, only one out. The fact he was able to get through the heart of that German lineup and then continue on. Now, he has gone past that 30-pitch threshold, means he's unavailable for tomorrow, which was interesting. But, man, what a performance. 18 years old in the rain for his national team. And, again, we heard about them just trying to get his feet wet, trying to get over some of the nerves the other night, bringing him in for an inning to get that feel.
We know that Kovala is headed to Georgia Tech, or is committed to Georgia Tech as of right now. But if you're a scout here, as Martin Cervenka snaps that bat in half, if you're a scout here watching it, you see an 18-year-old kid come in and not only get the outs that he got, but get them with that presence on the mound, with that swagger. What does that tell you about him?
Well, first of all, I mean, these games are televised, right? And we've heard all about these stories. We heard about guys resurrecting their career because they're going up against some of the best players in the world. And we'll see that. We'll see that in the month of March when you've got, you know, a non-baseball country going up against Team USA or Japan. And when you can mow down big leaguers, like we saw Kovala do that at 18 years old. Yes, he's committed to go to Georgia Tech, but you want to talk about getting put on the map. You want to get, you know, you want to talk about being on someone's radar. That's exactly how you do it. I mean, you talk about some of the players that the world was introduced to, you know, going back to 2006 with Daisuke Matsuzaka. You know, getting a chance to see him. He played the Olympics.
Martin Cervenka deep to left. And he's done it again. The second solo shot of the day for the 10-year Pro Ball veteran, and Cervenka, the catcher, gets the run back for the Czech Republic. It's an 8-4 lead.
Von Schamann with that hanging slider out in the middle of the plate. We talked about guys being introduced to the world for the first time. What about guys that got 10 years of minor league baseball trying to get to the big leagues? This might be a chance for him to get back into that seat and get back into that position to get back to the big leagues. Look at it, the ball's crushed. Let's not forget, we've got wind swirling out there. You can see the left fielder, Katowski, hanging out, and that ball just had carry all over it. Man, this kid is impressive.
That's what I was going to say. That ball took forever to come down. And for Katowski, where he initially pursued it to the wall, he kind of had to adjust his route when he got to the wall. The wind and the jet streams up above this ballpark have certainly played a big factor over the week of this tournament.
You know, when you got players like Cervenka, we know what he means to this Czech Republic team to show up that way. I mean, not only what he does behind the plate, you got an 18-year-old Mikhail Kovala who I guarantee you there's nerves running through him. You're a team captain. You want to show up. You don't want to show up here and all of a sudden, you know, go 0 for or not hit. But, man, he has done it on both sides of the ball. It has been fun to watch.
Pitch in there for a strike to Mate Menchik.
Just getting those hands extended on that little cement mixer slider out there, and then no chance to rob.
You know, and for Martin Cervenka, that's not really his game. His best power season in the minor leagues was 2018 when he had 15 homers over 97 games for AA Bowie. But over the span of his minor league career, he only hit 43 homers dating back to 2011 up through last year. Again, there was no minor league season in 2020. So a 10-season career over those 11 years. A swing and a miss by Menchik. He's gone on strikes.
And this is the slider that Von Schamann was hoping for against Cervenka. This is the one that dives out of the strike zone. Get that strike, a big error right there. You want to get your team back in the dugout. But we talked about, you know, introducing some of these players. You know, Kovala, if he gets a chance to pitch in March, obviously, with some of the scouts around. But, I mean, what about Aroldis Chapman in Mexico, 2009? He's coming from Cuba, so you don't know anything about him. Obviously, he's been scouted from a lot of teams, but on a world stage, first time ever, he's thrown 100, 102, and obviously, you know, what happened after that sign with the Cincinnati Reds, throwing the hardest pitch ever in baseball, essentially. Tyler, I remember watching him up against that Aussie team. I wasn't with Team Australia. I was trying to get in their rotation with the Seattle Mariners. But I remember watching on TV, and I was talking to Chris Snelling, who, ex-former major leaguer from Australia. And he told me the story. He knew he threw hard. The scouting report was 95s, 97s. That was the scouting report.
Man.
And, they're few and far between, too. When you're scouting Cuba, it's very difficult to get the full picture, of
Yes.
a guy like Aroldis Chapman. Well, they go out
true.
there in Mexico City, and the radar gun only had 2 digits. So they're looking up. It kept saying 0-0-0-0-1 on the scoreboard. And the hitter's like, man, can they fix that radar gun? I want to know how hard he's throwing. There was the occasional 98. After the game, like, no. You understand. When it says 0-0, that's 100. When it says 0-2, that's 102. So all of a sudden, the Australians after the game, like, hold on. So we were just facing a lefty.
That's what we're facing.
Trying 102. Insane.
He is an unbelievable physical specimen as a pitcher. I mean, the stuff that we've seen in the evolution of velocity in the game, there's still not really much like him,
No.
Martin Mujic facing a full count with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Mujic so far today looking for his first hit, couple of ground outs the second and a hit by pitch, and he's gone on strike 3 here.
It was funny, too. A couple of the other hitters, they saw a couple of sliders from Aroldis Chapman, and they're thinking to themselves, why? Why are you bothering with that pitch?
Seem to be doing fine with the heater. What's the need for the secondary stuff?
Yeah, Von Sharman, good fastball, sinking fastball out over the plate. Tell you what, even getting that 4th run, 8-4 for Czech Republic. Slowly but surely, as this game winds down, the time trickles away for Team Germany to get back in this one.
How about the effort by Daniel Padishah getting the start today for the Czech Republic? He allowed 3 runs in the top of the 1st inning on a homer by William Germain, then pitched into the 5th, allowed just 1 run the rest of the way. Kovala has thrown 2 2/3 of scoreless ball. He's only given up 1 hit and 1 walk while striking out 2. And on the other side for Germany, everybody has allowed at least 2 runs. Czech fans on the first side still very into it with their team out in front by 4. And, and this is something that we'll talk about, I'm sure, later on in this game and tonight and tomorrow night as well, especially if this Czech team advances. But this is really the story of the 2 different philosophies of trying to build something to get into the World Baseball Classic. When we arrived here in Germany, there were 3 teams that came to this World Baseball Classic qualifier with no affiliated players on their roster. South Africa, France, and the Czech Republic. And not only that, the Czech Republic only has 1 non-Czech-born player on their roster, and that's Jake Rabinowitz, who's lived in the Czech Republic for almost a decade. You look on the other side, Great Britain, which will play tonight, 10 affiliated players. Spain, I believe, has 5. Germany's got about 5 as well. 2-2, and Janos Dubovi will get a look at another one.
And this is the second one he's taken off his ankle. You can see the pain. Especially it's cold. Ooh, that hurts. See right away those legs just give way. You give yourself a couple steps at that heart rate. Actually, you don't want that heart rate to drop too much, especially on a cold day. But man, this is tough to walk off. Oh, does he get the magic spray? No, he's getting the ankle shin guard.
Which always, after you've already fouled the ball off your legs, seems like it's kind of coming a little too late.
You said it, not me.
So Dubovi will now attempt to not do it again, but at least he's got protection this time if he does.
3rd time's the charm.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. A run home in this inning on the leadoff homer by Martin Chervenka. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. And on a couple of hops out too short. No trouble out there for Brankson. That will do it for the Czech Republic in the 7th. We're headed to the 8th. Czechs with a 4-run lead. They've been playing baseball in Germany for nearly a century, although the nation's baseball history really got going after the end of World War II, when in the American-occupied zone, German youth activities were created and started to spread the game around. The current Baseball and Softball Association, now with 16 teams across the country, playing a 28-game season, split into North and South divisions. This nation has participated in the last 3 World Baseball Classic qualifiers, and Germany trying to rally here in front of a home crowd with a berth in the WBC still potentially on the line if they can bounce back and move into tomorrow's game. They've only got 6 outs to work with, trailing this game by 4 as Daniel Aldrich leads off here in the 8th. Germany's baseball history is pretty interesting. It was a sport that was banned prior to and during World War II, and then started to regain some prominence after the war. And the most successful German baseball team in history, the Mannheim Tornadoes, were actually named after an all-black team that won the GI World Series of American enlisted men after the close of World War II. In tribute to them, the Mannheim Tornadoes Club was created, and they've won dozens of championships at various eras and levels across the history of German baseball. 2-2 pitch on the way to Aldrich. Breaking ball away. Kind of wonder if at this stage Pavel Hadim is hoping that he won't have to use Martin Schneider or some of these other guys out of the bullpen, because he is going back to Kovala again. As we've said, Kovala is already now done for tomorrow, but he leads off with a walk. Daniel Aldrich, and things getting interesting now with the leadoff base runner for Germany in the 8th.
Yeah, you're going to try and push your young pitcher Kovala as far as you can in this situation, but you can tell he's going to start running on fumes here in a minute. 40 pitches in, some stressful innings. Sure, yeah, look, he's thrown 40 pitches before in his life, but not with this much adrenaline, not with this much stress, and with some of the weather conditions.
Big cut and miss there by William Germain.
You can see the bullpen starting to get moving right now. For the Czech Republic, 2 guys, double barrel, lefty-righty.
In this circumstance, you got a leadoff walk. How short is the leash for Mikhail Kovala? He's gotten you through some really, really good innings on the mound, but what is Pavel Hadim thinking?
Yeah, I mean, in a perfect scenario, obviously he gets a sneaky out here. Again, he's fatiguing. There's no doubt about that. You can see the command. Obviously, we talked about the weather as well. That's a factor, but you have to play this game. We've seen this from both teams. Like there is no tomorrow. You do not want to lose sleep 2 months from now thinking about, man, we could have gotten through that game just because we were trying to conserve. You have to get to tomorrow. Here's that slider again. It's just losing that feel, losing that break. It's a good pitch. You can see it start to flatten out a little bit.
Kovala deals to 1-2.
The other part of this too, Tyler, you asked about the mechanics being max effort. You can tell he pitches on short stints. That's what he does even back where he goes to high school in the U.S. So when you are max effort like that, all of a sudden you've been asked, hey, can you go back out? Can you go back out? It's not so much the pitch count either. 44 pitches, sure, that's manageable. It's how many times you have to get up and down in this outing. How many times you have to go back on the mound, throw those 8 warm-up pitches and be ready to roll.
Yeah, not only doing it on a weird weather day, like you said, but also just the pushes of adrenaline through each inning. We've seen Kovala really energetic, pumping his fist and yelling with his guys and all that. Then you go sit for a little while in the dugout. Then you come and ramp back up. 2-2 pitch on the way, and Germain takes that one down.
Yeah, there's only so many big breaths and jolts of energy you can have. I mean, even from the first 2 batters he faced in a tough spot, loaded bases. Then you come back out, you're on the ropes for a little bit, and you see him get all fired up. There's only so many of those ups and downs you can have.
3 balls and 2 strikes now on William Germain. Right-hander deals once more, and a bouncing ball up the middle, past the dive of Menchik and on into center. It's first and second with nobody out.
The German team heading down the bottom part of this lineup, chipping away It's a base hit right up the middle. All of a sudden, with none out, they've got something moving here. The other part of this too, Tyler, is you got to remember, coming up, you want to turn that lineup over one more time. You want to be able to get to an Altair in the middle of that lineup, give him one more chance in a big spot.
I looked down a second ago at that first base dugout. Pavel Hadim was yelling to Martin Cervenka, his veteran catcher, and kind of motioned out to the mound. Cervenka hung around for a second, then acted like he was going to get into his crouch, then called time and went out to the mound. So they're buying a little bit of time for the work going on in the bullpen out in right field.
And also, too, I mean, Cervenka, you mentioned 10 years in the minor leagues. He's the veteran on this team. He's essentially the captain of this team. He's got an 18-year-old out on the mound. Just get him to press that reset button the best he can. Come up with a big pitch.
Now he goes to work against Lucas Dunn. The rain picking up again here in Regensburg. Still have yet to figure out which way the weather actually moves at this ballpark, because we had sunny skies out beyond left field a moment ago, and a rope out to third, a juggled catch by Philip Smola, one out.
Wow. Big out for the Czech Republic. That ball was hit on a line, frozen rope. Right to the third baseman, Smola. He's able to corral that ball. The other part of this is, too, and I guarantee you Cervenka would have said this to Kovala, don't worry about those base runners. Look, you give up a run or two, big deal. It's about getting outs. You need 5 more outs to finish this game. Just think about getting outs any way you can. They're going to give you outs, take them.
One out, here's Marco Cardozo. 0-1.
I tell you what, you get that one out just like that, even though that ball was hit hard. You're not sitting there going, oh, man, I got away with it. You're just sitting there going, great. I've kept these runners right where they're at. I've got the bottom of this order. You have to start looking glass half full right here. And just go those last little bits of energy you can pull. Get your country to that game tomorrow.
Cardozo 0 for 3 to this point today. A couple of flyouts to right field. He grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in the 6th. Here he is in the 8th. And it's 0-2 on him.
And Cardozo was up last time out, being really aggressive, ground into that double play. There's a bit of a staring contest going on. Still happening right now between him and Kovala.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. In the air, out to left, Menchik stumbled, and the shortstop, Wojtek Menchik, is the one to go out and make the play. Matej Menchik, the left fielder, started back. His leg went out from under him, so he had no chance to get in, and his younger brother is the one to get there.
Man, Menchik, the shortstop. This is a tough play. Remember, there's the rain, there's the wind you got to deal with. Lost his route a little bit, but stayed with that ball. Man, what a catch.
That is a great play. That's a tough enough play to make on a perfect day in a dome, to make that catch over your head. But to do it out here in the rain with the wind and everything else that's playing a factor in this game, really impressive stuff from the shortstop for the Czech Republic. And now with 2 gone, here is Eric Branks, who came on as a pinch hitter in the 6th. Kovala put the first 2 on and a walk and a single, trying to strand them here in the 8th. This may be the biggest moment of the day for the Czech Republic to this point.
And Kovala's had plenty of them already.
Great pitch.
Man, that's a big pitch in that situation. Now all of a sudden he's 1-2. He's in the driver's seat, able to get on top of this breaking ball. This is a pitch he's been struggling with as fatigue sets in. Able to dig deep and get that pitch. And he can go fastball up or breaking ball below the strike zone.
1-2 is fouled away.
Just missed it. He's teetering 50-50. This is that breaking ball. You see Cervenka showing that glove on the dirt. just trying to do a little bit too much of this pitch. Hung it up in the strike zone.
Oof. That was a pitch to hit. Frank just missed it. Kovala ready again. 1-2 on the way. Got him on the foul tip, and Jermenka couldn't hold on. The Czech infield started to shift the weight over toward the first base dugout.
Just a little bit of bat. Keep it out of that glove of Cervenka. I like that. They're going fastball. You get fastball up in the strike zone right now, Brink has no chance.
Another 1-2 pitch on the way. And this one served out in the air to right. In pursuit of it is Kloop. Hand up, he makes the grab, and Germany threatens, but gets nothing in the 8th. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Czech Republic looking for some insurance. They had to a 4-run lead over Germany in Game 7 of the WBC in Regensburg. Headed to the bottom of the 8th inning in Regensburg. We got a tight one on our hands. It's an 8-4 game between the Czech Republic and Germany. This was a 7-4 game until the bottom of the 7th inning when the Czech Republic got a run back. And Jordan Martinson will take over on the mound for his team. Second appearance of the qualifier for Martinson. Left-hander who wears number 39. He pitched an inning and 2/3 against South Africa. That was yesterday. Allowed one unearned run in that game. And the left-hander, born in Bedford, Texas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and a member of the Kansas City Monarchs, an independent team in the United States. Another team that's named to honor the history of black baseball. 1-1 out of the air to center field. Aaron Altair is there to put it away. Leadoff man is gone. That's Philip Schmola. Martinson has played at a handful of stops in minor league baseball. Got his career started in 2019 in the Los Angeles Dodgers organization. Pitched a rookie ball in 19, pitched at AA and AAA in 2021, but really struggled. Now a bunt down, third base side. This is a good one off the bat of Heitmar, and he's on.
This is such a tough play. If you're left-handed, right-handed, obviously the rain included, but bouncing off that mound, it's kind of caught in between the pitcher and the third baseman. Tried to rush that throw. He's got that wet ball.
First pitch fastball elevated to Wojtek Menchik.
See Martinson threw yesterday 27 pitches, so he's available to pitch today. But if Germany's to come through this one and live to fight another day, we unavailable again. I'll tell you what, man, if Germany play tomorrow, that bullpen of theirs, that pitching staff,
They got some really interesting decisions to make.
they really do.
There are a few guys who we haven't seen yet in this qualifier, but that means there are a lot of talented arms who have been effectively burned for tomorrow.
Von Schaman obviously unavailable for tomorrow. Brian Flynn, the minute he got done with his first outing, he was unavailable the rest of the time. Wilhelm's available tomorrow, but just some of the arms that we've seen, Wickgren would be available tomorrow, but man, it is razor thin.
Menchik waiting. Wojtek Menchik back at the top of the order. He is 1 for 3 today. Also walked. He has scored a pair of runs. He has just been outstanding in this qualifier for his team. Former NC State Wolfpack member. 1-2 down and away, 2-2.
Yeah, some of the key players have really showed up in this tournament. That's one thing too. You can assemble a team and put all your guys together, but you really have to catch fire at the exact right time. And I think for Czech Republic, man, have they ever. Losing that first game, let's not forget, this team was nearly mercy ruled by 15.
In the 5th inning.
After 5 runs. I mean, you could be absolutely, psychologically, you could be buried after a situation like that. You really question yourself. You question how good you're going to stack up against some of these other teams. See that quick little pick from the left side, but the way they bounced back the next day, took care of business, and here they are with an 8-4 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, this Czech team was down 21-2 to Spain in its first matchup of this World Baseball Classic qualifier. Man, what a story that would be tomorrow if the Czech Republic wins this game and Spain is unable to beat Great Britain tonight. You got a rematch in that one. A lot of storylines going into that game. The winner of this game is on to tomorrow. The loser heads home as Menchik sends it in the air out to right. Back onto the track. It's pulled in. And this is going to be I'm not entirely sure what Jakub Heitmar is doing. And he's going to be doubled off at first. And maybe I shouldn't put that on Heitmar because weirdly, David Winkler, the third base coach, was waving him around, and that was an easy catch out in right field for Demetrius Morer. So that's going to end up as an easy 9-2 putout that wraps things up for the Czech Republic here in the bottom half of the 8th. Odd one. Winkler just went up to home plate umpire Kyohei Makeda and was arguing he thought that ball popped out of the glove of Moore, but it turns into a double play, and we're going to the 9th. Here is where things stand as we head into the 9th inning on a Tuesday afternoon in Regensburg. The winner of this one, Game 7, is off to tomorrow to play for a berth in the 2023 World Baseball Classic against the loser of our night game tonight, Spain and Great Britain. The winner of that game advances to the WBC, and Germany's got 3 outs to work with to try to save its bid in front of a home crowd.
I'll tell you what, this Czech Republic team, 3 outs away from a hard-fought chance to qualify. You think about what they've had to go through. First of all, nearly being mercy ruled by 15 runs to the Spain team, which essentially they could be matched up against tomorrow if they lose tonight against Great Britain.
And look who's on the mound for the Czech Republic here in the 9th. They are sticking with Mikhail Kovala, who has already thrown 3 2/3, 59 pitches. Now he's up to 61.
He's got 14 pitches to play with. Remember, 85 pitches has to be taken out of the game.
3-1. And you do wonder again how short the leash is for Kovala, the 18-year-old, with some stirring in the Czech bullpen out and right.
I'll tell you what, the gas light has been on for a long way down this freeway for this Czech Republic team. For Kovala running on absolute fumes right now.
And yet, he is getting the job done.
Yeah, it really is. Some big moments for this young man. Radishek started this game. Kovala took over. You're thinking to yourself he's going to come in that pivotal role, but here he still is in the 9th inning.
And he's got the first out. 1 away. That throw a little offline, but Martin Mujic able to find the bag.
Now, I think the big goal for here, we're talking about that pitch count. You want to be able to get to 2 outs with that last hitter at least with a chance, because you can, once you get to 85 pitches, you can finish the at-bat. He's got the top of the lineup, Demetrius Mora.
Yeah, back to that leadoff man who's 1 for 4 today. You know, I think it's a good point what you were talking about last inning, that if you're this Czech team, you go down 21-2 to Spain on day number 1. And at least in the back of your mind, there may be some voice that says, maybe we haven't built the thing that we have felt like we built here.
Right.
And this team has responded in a big, big way. And they are 2 outs away from moving on to play in a winner-take-all game for a World Baseball Classic berth tomorrow night.
Remember, too, the way these two teams, they know each other really well, Germany and Czech Republic. I mean, they're neighbors geographically, but they're built so differently. And for Czech Republic, all natural-born players, all within Czech Republic, obviously kids like Kovala who are playing in the U.S., but they're all born and raised, born and bred in Czech Republic. So you have that big game where you do get smoked by Spain. And all of a sudden, you second guess. You're like, where do we stand here on when it comes to the level we're at, the talent level we're at around the world? We just got beat. We nearly got beat 15, but go down by 15 in 5 innings, and here they are.
3-1 now on Moore. What a game. This has turned into such a good one here in Regensburg. 3-1 pitch from Kovala is ball 4, and Moore and his speed are aboard.
Again, this is where some of that experience comes into play, not being too aggressive, knowing what you're up against, knowing the fact that Kovala is down to his hanging by a thread when it comes to energy level. Now you have Bruce Maxwell, Altair right after him. Another big spot for this young man, Mikhail Kovala, making his Czech Republic debut.
He's obviously got some breathing room to work with here with a 4-run lead. They're coming up on 70 pitches now. And number 70 of the day puts him 15 away from the limit, and it's ball 1. Struck out Maxwell in the former big leaguer's last trip to the plate. And he's into the count now. It's 1-1.
There's a fastball middle back in the count. You can see how patient Bruce Maxwell is. He's going to make him work. This is going to be a deeper count.
1-1 pitch. 1-2. Yeah, you pointed that out several times with Maxwell, that he's going to do what he can to see as many pitches as he can per at bat.
It's that fastball, other side of the plate. I think a good option here. We saw this last at bat against Bruce Maxwell. That changeup coming straight out at that same time. Changeup down the way, get you a swing and miss.
Here's the 1-2 from Kovala.
There it was. Just missing. You can see these Czech fans like, where was that? Good pitch.
That was very close. Very close.
You know, if I'm Kovala right here, I'm throwing the exact same pitch, just making it even better. This would be a changeup. Got to get that pitch down and away.
Maxwell waiting. 2-2 pitch on the way to him. High, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And just trying to do a little too much. Trying to make it extra, a little extra on that pitch. The changeup, this one just floats up and away.
"18 years old and tasked with getting the final outs in a crucial game for the Czech Republic." 3-2. Back to him. Kovala to the bag at second for 1 on to first, and the Czech Republic will play tomorrow for a berth in the World Baseball Classic.
And what a moment. Bruce Maxwell, the big league of 3 years with the Oakland A's. He goes to 3-2, gets him in that deep count with nothing left in the tank from Mikhail Kovala. He goes changeup, misses. Then he gets that fastball, hits it back to him. Turns, fires a perfect throw, perfect strike to Menchik at shortstop. What a moment for this Czech Republic team on the back of Mikhail Kovala.
And man, how many times in this tournament have we already seen those plays that look like gimme outs turn into disasters in the field? And Kovala took the extra second, composed himself, knew he had a catcher running to first, and gets the out at second to start it.
Absolutely. The moment becomes too big. You lose your footing. You try and overthrow, whatever it may be. We've seen that. The defense has let a lot of moments down, but man, none bigger for that young man, Mikhail Kovala.
Really impressive stuff today from the Czech Republic as they are on to tomorrow to take on the loser of tonight's Spain-Great Britain matchup. Back upstairs here in Regensburg, Tyler Mon, Ryan Rowland-Smith. And Ryan, I mean, that's the type of game the Czech Republic really needed to carry that momentum into tomorrow, no matter who they face.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to point out, so many good efforts today from this team. Obviously, Padishak to start this game. Obviously, Mikhail Kovala, we've talked about him, some of the big moments, but the offense showing up. They did get mercy ruled the first day, nearly by 15. And all of a sudden, here they are with a chance to go to the World Baseball Classic.
Storylines galore coming up tomorrow, whether they face Spain or Great Britain, which reminds us, coming up tonight at 7 o'clock, Spain and Great Britain, the 2 unbeatens with a spot in the World Baseball Classic on the line. That's going to be a lot of fun this evening.
Yeah, it really is. I can't wait. 7 o'clock here local time. Great Britain, Team Spain, 2 powerhouses. We've seen the power. We've seen some of the depth that both these teams have. And again, we're down to it, Tyler. We're down to elimination. We're down to one team getting all the way to get that qualification. Good times ahead. I can't wait for tonight.
2 games to go in this 2022 Regensburg qualifier. And this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of World Baseball Classic Incorporated and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Congratulations to Germany, eliminated on home soil, but a terrific effort from them. And congrats to the Czech Republic on to tomorrow. For Ryan Rowland-Smith and our producer, Tim Fryer, I'm Tyler Mon. We'll talk to you at 7 o'clock.